These two grown men had never seen the Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
I see the girls walk by dressed in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until my darkness goes.
These two grown men had never seen the Simpsons. It's America's Barley Basket.
Welcome to America's Barley Basket. I am your host, Nathan Folsom, but goddammit. Should I start over again?
Why would you start over again?
I did the host thing. Then I always
I do the host thing.
But then I never
it's
know.
It's not hard.
Yeah. I was like, our other host?
Well, yeah, you don't say that.
I'm going to drop the host thing.
Okay. Fucking do it again, then.
We're doing it live. Welcome to episode 66 of America's Barley Basket. I am Nathan Folsebuck. Sitting next to me, virtually, is Marlon Wells.
Not virtual at all. Sitting right here,
Oh,
dog.
physically.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I'm leaving all that in.
I mean, I have holding a cell phone, so you are kind of virtual. We are on many levels. We're analog.
Take the L, dog.
Yeah,
Don't try to. Well, you got a phone.
I'm going to die on this digital hill.
God damn it.
So here we are in multiple forms.
Not going to do it a third time.
No, we're rolling. We're doing it live. We're Bill O'Reilly in it on the Inside Edition.
God damn it.
So here we are.
It's a Saturday, and we're just chilling.
It's kind of, is it darker in here? It feels darker. Maybe that lamp's not on. It has more of a kind of a podcasting after dark feel.
I set the mood
Ooh.
before you came over. I was like, we're going to loosen some of these bulbs, see if we can loosen them drawers.
Yeah. I find it very, I don't know what the word is that you think I have clean underpants. I am very underpants free on this podcast. I like being some form of undress. Always adds a level of excitement and uncertainty to the quality of a podcast. Yes. Yeah. Danger. This couch is in danger. I have had 2 gas station coffee drinks today. So.
Couch is in peril.
This suede is inches away from having to be boiled. I don't know if one boils suede to clean it.
That might be a synthetic. That might be virtual suede. That might be bullshit suede.
Can I get your finest bullshit suede? I want suede that's an affront to the leather industry. Thumb my nose at the leather enthusiasts.
I want your most insulting fake leather.
I like a good suede.
Yeah, me too. I like a leather. I'm a leather guy.
Yeah,
I almost said
leather daddy. Yeah,
nope. A leather guy. I like leather.
God, I remember thinking as a kid that if you had like a pair of suede Nikes, that was just the peak of fashion.
There's something about like suede shoes. I've never owned a pair and wouldn't want to because like, man, you can fuck up some suede without really trying.
Yeah, suede.
Like,
there's a reason car interiors aren't suede.
There's a reason Elvis wrote a whole song about not stepping on them.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, good point. Yeah,
like I don't want anything to do with suede shoes.
Where you can step all over a good leather, regular leather. It's just meant for. Just loves to be degraded.
Yeah.
Treat that leather coat like the dog it is.
Step on me, daddy, says the leather.
Hey, so can I piss on this jacket? Is that cool?
Will this be fine for my Jello wrestling I have later?
I have to ask you to leave the JCPenney, sir. Is there like a chain of like mall stores or whatever that just deals in leather?
Wilson Leather.
Is Wilson's? That is a chain.
Yeah,
that's not just a mom and pop.
No, that's a chain of
okay,
like mall leather stores.
God, I wonder how many disappointed leather daddies they get. Where it's like, well, there's now the whole store leather, not one diaper. You know, this is what we're dealing with. Oh, this is all the same boring things. You know,
you got 80 pairs of gloves and sensible jackets, and not one Rob Halford chest harness in the whole store.
No leather straight jackets. You couldn't have one of them.
Not a mask as far as the eye can see.
Not one leather gas mask that hooks up to the leather diaper. You know, like the accessories alone, you're gonna make a killing. But I guess I'm gonna have to start my own.
Back to the internet, I guess.
Holy shit! Going into like a tractor's part supply store and casually explaining that you're looking for O-rings that hook your gas mask to your leather diaper.
Come with a schematic that you drew out. Yeah, I need this valve right here.
You working on the got some valves going out on your round baler? Funny you should ask. Things got a little too aggro with my gimp last night.
You know, I wasn't calling it the round baler, but I might now.
He's that urgent care because he blew out an O-ring too, if you get my drift. All of this at like 8:30 a.m. on a Wednesday. They got him up on the rack.
At a TSC, some bleary-eyed retired farmer who's working there.
Yeah, I'll see if we got that in.
Oh, shit. Let me get a pair of them rubber over boots too. Don't worry about it. Just don't ask. Things get spicy at a Tractor Supply Company.
You should see the other guy.
Try to make it a real. Try to make you should see the other guy a part of the common language in the BDSM community.
Yeah, no shit. He's just running around downtown stuck in a barrel. Just nude, white, pasty legs stuck in a barrel.
Shit.
There's 3 chinchillas in here.
We took some poppers and we're doing the rodeo clown, and now he's gone. He up and took off.
Shit. Wake up, there's just boots, painted jeans, and chaps. What the hell's the rest of the guy at?
Just a pair of denim bib overalls with a bunch of bandanas tied to it.
Sexually inappropriate Pac-Man on around, bouncing into shit. It says Tony Llama upside down on the barrel. Having that burst out of an elevator when you're walking into work. You're right, Chris Liddy. What you gonna do with a cowboy?
Oh shit.
What you gonna do with a cowboy when he suffers a head injury serious enough for him to lose all of his inhibitions? And learn that he likes being degraded.
Help, I'm stuck in the clown barrel has to be a video. Right?
Going into an old welding shop and assuming they have a bench vise big enough to grip that barrel. We got some C-clamps. I guess we can maybe try.
If you like help, stepbrother, I'm stuck in the washer, you might also like help, I'm stuck in the rodeo clown barrel.
I can't believe how often this happens. Why does he bring the barrel with him? That'd be like a gymnast bringing the pommel horse when they go out on a Saturday night.
Is he scared bulls are downtown?
He's got some serious PTSD, which this is not going to help.
Man, you know who I bet fucking parties?
Yeah,
rodeo clowns.
I bet they're the ones that, I bet there's like great rodeo clown stories amongst cowboys. You know,
for sure. There's that's got to be like, get them around a table and fire up some microphones.
Yeah, get them on some poppers.
My shop teacher senior year of high school was a rodeo clown.
Oh, really? Yeah. Bud Light, Coors Light, anal nitrate. It's like a rip off a gas mask, like Dennis Hopper in Blue Velvet. Daddy wants to fuck. We got a late show, man. You got to calm down.
You're just wearing suspenders. They ain't even clipped on to any. What are you doing?
I hope all rodeo clowns feel secure enough that they can express themselves in any sexual way they'd like.
Yeah, I hope rodeo clowns are really out there just burying.
They want to have a normal life and have a wife and this. If they want to get Eiffel Towered by random men in exotic hotel rooms, I want that to happen too.
Yeah, whatever they're after, I hope they're getting it. Whew. So we are talking about The Simpsons.
God, are we?
Well, we're going to be, maybe.
This is hard, really pulling the old mental e-brake here.
Unless you have more to add to the BDSM rodeo clown.
I don't want to go down that road much longer.
Discourse. Scared of where that's going to end.
Yeah.
You in clown makeup in a barrel.
Goodbye horses playing in the background. I wonder if they do that when they're getting ready for a show, tucking their shit between their legs. And then one of the regular cowboys see Randy.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Les. Sorry.
I'll be out there in a minute.
I'll pull my shit right out here. I don't need to see it.
Oh, saddle bronc spout done? Okay, yeah, okay. 5 minutes? Oh, shit.
Would you gore me? Gore me so hard. The one rodeo club that they don't want to be saved by. Rather be trampled. Your hands are always weirdly damp.
Reaching down to pick a rider up. Nope, just get off me.
No, we're good.
Rather be trampled.
He's always grabbing you by like the crotch.
No, just trying to save you from the bull. Randy, get back.
Why are you putting my hands in your pants? How could that help the situation?
Oh, shit. Oh, you hung up in the rope there a little, speaking of which.
Want to fish hook my asshole?
Boy, your speaking of witches span a further gap than mine do.
Yeah.
I was gonna stick to ropes, but you went to fish hooks.
We're having fun.
There you are, as always.
Good times.
We have fun.
The Simpsons. Please bail us out.
They're on a television program. We're in season 15. We're on the back half of the season, headed towards the end. We're doing episodes, what are we got here? 14 through 18 today of The Simpsons. The first one out the gate is episode 14, The Ziff Who Came to Dinner. We get, of course, your favorite, John motherfucking Lovitz.
Which I don't want to, get too deep into my thoughts. Very disappointed that a Lovitz episode could be this lackluster.
Yeah, it's it's fine. I wasn't in love with it. It was fine.
Yep. I don't want to take your steam away. If that's
Are you sure? Because you've stepped on it twice.
But
now.
I just want to make. But you're probably going to message it or mention it. This is maybe the most involved couch gag.
Note number 1: elaborate couch gag.
And from what I've been told, we're going to get more of this.
Yep, I know that they get there, especially with like guest animators that they bring in. Because like Banksy has done the couch gag, Rick and Morty has done the couch gag.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think so too. And they this easily the most elaborate one we've seen so far. Like pans out, does the 2001 thing before eventually finally crashing back into the living room.
Yeah.
But yeah, it goes on a while. We're at the movie theater. I think a pretty weak-ass batch of movie titles on the marquee.
Disappointing. Yeah.
That always is a big highlight anytime we see movie titles. The only one I bothered writing down was Freddy versus Jason versus Board of Education. Yeah. That's pretty funny.
That was good.
I'll give him that one. Do you like Freddy versus Jason?
I did.
I did too.
Went to
like
the theater.
That movie.
It was everything. But I am not precious with either of those entities.
Likewise.
I'm the right level of fan where I enjoy them, but they don't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
So if one of them sucks, it's like, meh, don't care.
That was one, actually, that was the first Nightmare or Friday movie I had seen, is Freddy
really? Interesting.
Jason.
Okay, yeah. I have seen very few of the Nightmare on Elm Streets.
Yeah, I've only ever seen the first one.
I've seen the first.
Freddy vs. Jason.
I think I've seen the first one. I've seen New Nightmare, which was the first one I ever saw. Was New Nightmare, that mid '90s one, and I think I've maybe seen parts of a sequel. That's it.
Yeah,
I have. If you add up the chunks, I've probably seen a majority of the Friday the 13th movies, but never in earnest where I sit down, because they used to be on USA cable network every Friday the 13th.
Oh, okay.
For the literally the last 35 years. So they're just in the background enough. You know,
I've seen like two of those. I've seen like the second one and like the sixth one, like some piece of garbage from the middle.
I think it's either the second or the fourth one that some horror fans say is really good. The first one's fine. The first one's a good movie.
I remember liking 2. I don't know.
Maybe that's
been a while.
Yep. I know 3 is the 3D one, and that one I have seen that one, and that one sucks.
I've heard X is like good because of how bad it is.
Is that the one in space?
Yeah,
it is insane, dude.
Fun.
I saw that on like a premium cable channel when it was new, and they were like, "Hey, we tonight on Showtime." I was like, "This looks like it's fucking should be a sci-fi original." Like just the quality of it just looked like shit. It's like, was this direct to VHS? Was this like a family camcorder? But like, oh, I can see that because it's bonkers.
Yeah,
like,
I've heard it's fun.
Yep. I thought that the Friday the 13th remake about a dozen years ago was good.
Yeah.
It's what it should be. Jason's killing kids, teenagers. That's what I want.
Simple.
Yep. Don't need a backstory.
Do you have I feel like everyone has a franchise in that in the horror or slasher genre. Do you have one where you're like, this is my team?
I would say I would go Halloween of the major ones, because I have one of the few that has like an affinity towards 4 and 5.
Okay.
Because I think 4 is the first one I ever saw. I enjoy the ones with the mute girl. I mean, technically, I probably would say Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I only like the first one.
No one likes any of the rest.
Yeah. Like, so I guess, but my love of the one is more than the like I have for it. But like, that doesn't count when like I either haven't seen or didn't care for literally anything else, you know, like.
I like Halloween, but if I have to pick a team, it's Hellraiser.
See, I have never seen a Hellraiser movie.
Yeah, there's 2 good ones, and the rest are real fucking bad, but they're bad in a way that I really like.
You can enjoy it,
Yeah. So, and I haven't seen them all, but the late model ones I have seen are also not good.
I've heard from multiple people that the first couple are good, which I never would have thought, because when I picture Hellraiser, I think of being at my buddy Damien's house, and it was like Hellraiser 7 was on Cinemax, and this looks fucking unwatchable.
Is this the one where they're on the internet? There's one that's based on the internet from like 2005.
And horror movies in the mid 90s were such a cultural afterthought. Like, when I think of them, I think of Puppet Master 6 followed by Warlock 11. You know, maybe we'll squeeze in Leprechaun plays semi-pro soccer or whatever they're up to. You know, like insane. Like
but if I had to pick one where it's like this movie is the best one of these, it's Halloween 1. Halloween is so fucking good.
Yeah,
like I love Halloween.
I enjoy it. I've also I loved it so much as a kid. I watched it so much. But for the slashers, I definitely lean Halloween. Yeah, I enjoy Jason movies, but they don't do. Jason movies are the kind of things I can get a phone call in the middle of it, talk for half an hour and hang up, and I don't feel the need to rewind.
You're not going to pause when you answer the phone.
I know what happened.
Yeah, I get it.
Did he cheese some teens? Yep.
Did they run? Did one of them trip?
Yeah. No shit.
So that was the only film on the marquee that I thought was worth mentioning. Freddy versus Jason versus Board of Education.
What other would you consider slasher franchises? Scream,
Halloween.
Well, I enjoy those movies, but they don't.
I've only ever seen the first.
Oh, no kidding. No. I think I've never seen the one that came way later, 4 all the way through. But I saw the first 3 in the theaters. Very good, enjoyable movies, but
I would say that the suits in that deck are Scream, Nightmare, Friday, Hellraiser.
Chucky?
Sure, Chucky. I've never seen any of the Child's Play. I've never seen a Chucky movie.
I've seen the first one.
Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
And that's probably it of the like mascot ones, I guess.
Doesn't it kind of feel like we're missing at this point with Saw, the little fucking thing on the bike, the tricycle thing? But what I've seen the first 2 Saw. They don't seem like slasher movies. They're more like a grisly thriller.
Yeah.
It's more of like will the cops get there in time to save them,
Same with like Hostel. Hostel's not a slasher.
No, there's no big scary villain.
I've only ever heard that genre called torture porn.
Yeah. And I think we've discussed this. I liked the first Hostel. Second was meh. Boy, yeah, horror went hard in the paint there for probably like 04-ish.
Yeah.
And I love The Hills Have Eyes, that remake.
I never saw the remake.
That movie they get every ounce out of their R rating.
Yeah.
And the second one even more. So not as good of a movie, but it is.
Well, that was the thing there for a while with horror movies. Was how hard can we go?
Yeah. And then I don't know if it started it, but I think High Tension was the first
that one popped up in my head just now.
Because some of the scenes in that are rough too.
And then you had but then you also had older horror fans then coming out of the woodwork being like, just watch a Serbian film, don't be a pussy. And it's no, I'm good actually. Or what's the cannibal one that they all love?
Oh, from the late 70s, Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah, we go.
Yeah, which I did see eventually. And it was better than I thought it would be, but I had the bar in my head set so low that I was like, yeah, this is nothing I ever need to watch again or anything like that. And I mean, there are, I think, European horror movies that are so gory and so violent that are amazing.
Yeah.
It's they transcend the torture porn part of it, where it's this is a terrific movie that's also just incredibly insanely violent. You know? There's a movie called Martyrs that is hard to watch. It's did you have to go this far? But you're engaged the whole way through.
As I've said before, I'm a squeamish boy. I don't necessarily need all that. I'm good.
You want your O-rings in pristine condition.
Yeah, I want the nicest O-rings money can buy.
Gem Mint 10 O-rings.
New inbox, mint on card O-rings.
Saving your O-rings for your wife. Holy shit. Calling an audible during your wedding vows and dropping that in there. To you, my bride, I present
my O-ring.
My O-ring.
Holy shit.
You want to check the elasticity of it? I assure you it's pristine.
Well, welcome and goodbye to all our new listeners in Birmingham, Alabama, who have certainly left us now. Lansing, Battle Creek, it's been fun, but I'm sure you're gone too.
The Simpsons.
4 seconds into this episode.
Damn it.
Homer wants to go see Teenage Sex Wager, which I liked because that you immediately know what that movie is.
Totally, yep.
That's right in there with the teen sex.
We're getting laid by the end of the semester.
She's all that's the American Pies. I liked that. Rod and Todd, of course, object. But they're Rod and Todd are with the Simpsons because Ned is with the old timers. Retirement home residents. He's taking them out for ice cream. Lenny and Carl show up, and Lenny explains that he has a small speaking role in The Re-Deadening.
Which, what a weird plot use to get them to go to that movie.
Yeah, you couldn't have written something else as to why they go to that one.
Just so silly. Yeah, pointless.
Yeah, I don't know. But whatever. It's a scary movie. The kids are freaked out. They go home still freaked out and start hearing noises in the attic. So they go upstairs and they're looking around. They're doing a Blair Witch thing with the camera, documenting, trying to find what's making the noise. The parents, in the meantime, are watching Kojak, which is getting Marge going.
Yeah, which I like. Yeah.
I've never seen Kojak. I know what it is, but I've never seen it. I like that Homer is like sucking on a lollipop like Kojak and then just sticks it to the headboard. Yeah. I think that's such a funny joke that he's just like, fucking whatever. Yeah. He's just a slob, just slap it onto the headboard, whatever. We go upstairs. Turns out Artie Ziff is living in the attic.
Yep.
He had lost it all during the .com burst. He was obviously super rich last we saw him and lost it all. And now is going to live with the Simpsons. Kind of a classic Simpsons trope. A different character is going to live with the Simpsons.
Yep.
Who has done it?
Apu, the brother. Didn't the Danny DeVito brother live with them for a while?
Yeah.
Yep. Someone's like wife or somebody, because Marge gets jealous. Comes to, it's not Snake's girlfriend. There's
Otto's girlfriend when they almost get married.
Yep.
Yeah, there's just they're always renting a room, apparently, at the Simpson house, which they can with the size of that fucking house.
Yeah, exactly.
So Artie Ziff is hanging out with the kids. He's hanging out with Homer. And then Marge sees on TV that he is wanted by the SEC because he's a dirtball CEO.
Yep.
And Homer, I like this scene got me because I have not sat around with your buddies playing small time poker in so fucking long. Yep. And I was like, boy, I want to do that.
Yep.
I want to sit in someone's garage and drink cheap beer and play poker for too long.
The rise of No Limit Hold'em kind of ruined the old throw in a quarter ante home poker game. Because like I'm old enough for when I was a kid, my dad would have poker nights where like it was dealer's choice. So when the game was done, you move to the next guy. Hey, we're gonna play baseball. 3s and 9s are wild. Got to ante this or this. Now it's just No Limit Hold'em. That's all. Which I love No Limit Hold'em, but like there's dozens of just little random ass poker games people can play that just have kind of disappeared. It's kind of a shame.
I've never played poker that wasn't No Limit Hold'em.
Yeah,
poker.
If you're a certain age, like. There's like, oh my God, like then spit, split, roll them. Like
this all sounds like sex. Stuff.
Yeah. So there's so many random, deuce 7, triple draw, this and that and this.
Yeah,
like,
say it slower.
Yeah. Slobber some more.
We'll find a rodeo clown. Splits, 3 knuckle backsides, whatever other kind of horse shit poker names you have. Yeah. So Homer playing poker, Artie Ziff is there, Moe is there, a couple of the other guys. Homer wins all of Artie Ziff's stock in the poker game, and so now he's the majority shareholder, which means that he's the one who gets arrested by the SEC.
It's the perfect time.
Yeah, and I like that the SEC has like a SWAT team raid. They like rappel in the ceiling. Like I think that's pretty funny. Sentenced to 10 years, Patty and Selma run into Artie, who's like drowning his sorrows at Moe's, and Selma is into it and grabs Artie and like drags him out and hooks up with him.
Her line, I won't let him into my heart or my bedroom. I just want 10 minutes on the beanbag. Come on, Short Round. I'm going to take you to my Temple of Doom. Is in an episode I didn't get a lot of laughs at. Holy shit, I died when she said that.
10 minutes on the beanbag is pretty funny.
Another good gag when Artie was like just reminiscing about the good times. He was like in that hot tub. He was partying with Newt Gingrich, Janine Garofalo, and Scottie Pippen.
That's
a good group of 90s. Party group. Yeah. And it's funny, like we're at this point. Remember how I used to say at least once or twice a season, oh, I've seen this episode.
Oh, yeah.
It never comes up, but I have seen that scene. I remember like being somewhere and I saw those 4. I was like, that's a
weird,
funny group of people to have. And in my head, I thought it was from a Critic episode.
Oh, sure. So, that would make sense.
So when that popped up, I was like, no kidding.
Do you think Scottie Pippen is cool? You think and Scottie Pippen could hang out?
Scottie Pippen's got a lot of issues. I mean, I don't think he's like he's made a ton of financial errors and he's super salty about it because I think he's broke.
Really?
Yeah, Scottie Pippen ain't doing so hot. He went through a terrible divorce, lost a bunch of shit.
I watched that Last Dance documentary. Seems like his house is nice.
Like lately he tries to do shit now that like to try to just be in the public eye and drum up. I think he wrote a book. So just like the day before the book's like, yeah, Phil Jackson's racist.
Oh.
And everyone's like, no, he's not. Like
getting some
every
press.
black man he's ever met's like, no, he's like a really good person. Like, he's like my kid's godparent. like, I don't know. Like yeah. So it just kind of seems like the last 6 months haven't been good for Scottie Pippen.
Huh.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I figured he would be like doing hot again after that Last Dance documentary was the biggest thing of last year.
This might be complete, like, I might be misremembering something. I wonder if it's Scottie. I know Michael Jordan could be this way a little bit. I think Scottie Pippen was also notoriously cheap.
Huh.
Which,
how'd he blow all his money if he's notoriously cheap?
Marrying the wrong, but I mean, like cheap to others supports himself, you know, like
sure.
just like cheap at a restaurant or whatever, you know, like
doesn't tip well.
And then Scottie Pippen's, well, if you saw it last night, he had a childhood out of a Dickens novel.
Yeah.
Like 1 out of 13 kids, and his dad got paralyzed in a work accident.
Yep.
They lived in a like a box in Arkansas, you know, like
Scottie Pippen, like the story of his childhood reads like he was a London street urchin pressing his face up against the glass at a toy shop.
To like watching them bake bread. just
just breathing heavy on the glass, looking longingly through there. Selma hooks up with Artie, and then Artie decides to come clean, and he takes Homer's place in prison. A lot of weird big story points here. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Lenny was in a movie. Artie is broken living in the attic. Like, the SEC arrests Homer. Big. If you were to write them out in sentences like that, you're like, what is happening on The Simpsons? Like
poor structure of the right. There's too much going on. Yeah. Like, the couple good gags, like mostly the Selma type stuff, and then the hot tub. Another gag I liked was when they're watching this scary movie and like Lisa's like pushing herself into Homer, and he's like, "Can I rest my soda on your head?" She's like, And he does, and Bart's got popcorn on his head. Like, man, on that note, I've only seen it once I can think of. You are such a trash goblin if you bring little kids to a scary, scary movie.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Saw it.
Don't bring your kids to a scary movie.
I went to a second screen theater was running Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like that 2001 remake or whatever.
Jessica Biel one?
Yeah, the Jessica Biel one. Packed house Friday night. And we were like center stage, 3 rows back in the very front row. This couple comes in holding a literal 3-month-old newborn and like a 2.5-year-old. So the movie starts. The 2.5-year-old starts screaming as soon as something really violent happens because they should.
Right.
And then the baby is just screaming because a kid is screaming and they should be in bed.
Also, it's a theater and it's a jump scare movie. Regardless of what's on screen, it's loud.
Yeah.
Like
what? I get it. You get your second beat. Hey, you know what? Wrap it up. Don't have fucking kids, you knuckleheads.
How about this? Don't bring your child to a movie.
Yeah.
Period.
Or bring them to an animated movie where it's going to be full of animals like your kids.
Yeah.
Just fucking running amok.
Even then, sometimes I want to go see an animated movie.
God damn it, Marlon.
Maybe don't bring them to an animated movie.
I understand what you're saying, but you got to bite that bullet when you go to an animated movie.
All right. That's more their thing than mine. Okay. I'll just go to a late showing
if
of an
you're a
animated
child at
movie.
heart, you still got to put up with the childs.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
Pissed that there's kids at a kids movie, just seething, arms crossed.
Can't believe all these kids are just finding Nemo.
Chaos around. You just see a chaos. There's Marlin in the eye of the toddler storm.
I didn't expect to be surrounded by children when I came to see Moana again.
These kids are Cars 2.
Wanted to see if I remembered the songs to all the words, and there's kids here. Words to all the songs.
This is like kids if in a pet would literally like crawl over you. Just you arms. There's a kid on top of your head.
Just mad at this kids movie. I went to Shang-Chi last weekend and was happy to see a lack of children. I was cool with that.
Heard that's really good.
Loved it. Thought it was very good. I give it like a 4 out of 5, but it's a real strong 4.
I've given up on trusting my instincts, because when I heard that they're going to make a Doctor Strange movie, that's going to be boiled horse shit.
Right.
And I've heard it's good. And I'm like, they're going to make a movie about a Doctor Strange side character? And good for them. Their batting average, they're at Marvel Co. or whatever the hell they call it.
Yeah, I had my first big doubt at Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Yeah. I was like, that's the most obscure. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Fuck, it's over. Yeah. No, I was wrong. And like, even the movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that I don't like are still good.
Yep.
You know?
Totally, yeah.
Especially when compared to all the other schlock that's out there. Mm-hmm. Like, the worst MCU movie is still like a solid 3 out of 5.
Yep. I've never seen one that was like cringe, like you felt bad for the performers.
Right. Like, just crossed arms leaving there. Yeah. Stupid Thor.
Up to episode 15, Codependence Day. Episode begins with Homer, Bart, and Lisa waiting in line for the new Star Wars movie.
Cosmic Wars, you mean?
Oh, you don't need to give the Lucas Co. or Disney.
So weird that they didn't just do it.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Yeah, that is a very good point. Why not?
South Park did.
I was going to say, at this point, does Fox own them? But no, Disney owns Star Wars. Yeah, so they don't technically have them under the Fox umbrella. But yeah, like, they're a big enough entity. I can't imagine there being any legal issues with that.
I'm surprised that 15 seasons in, they didn't just go for it and that they gave everything fake names.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing they must have looked into it, so maybe there was some legal...
I think they were chicken shit, scared of the lawyers.
We're saying it. We're saying it
Take
on
that.
The podcast. Someone get this to Industrial Light and Magic so they can hear it. Have you ever waited in line for a big movie? Is that a thing that ever happens anymore?
I've done that.
Oh, really?
The first one would have been Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
No, you must have been a kid, though.
That was 99. I was...
Like early high school, I guess.
Yeah, early high school, maybe a sophomore in high school. I waited outside in college, waited in line for The Matrix Revolutions.
Oh, really? Those, they were that big. Like
the third one.
I've been such a movie snob for so long that I'm like, I go to like an indie movie that 7 people are at. You
don't wait for blockbusters.
Yeah,
you know,
like there aren't many big blockbuster. Like, with Star Wars, I enjoy them, but I'm not a Star Wars guy.
Sure, yeah.
There hasn't been a good Aliens movie in so long that like I don't feel the need to be there the opening night for it, you know? Same thing with Predator.
There's no like franchise you love so much that I gotta see it day one. Yep. Okay.
I have a story involving people standing in line. I used to ride to work. I was like, at this point, 21-ish. And we had seen on the news that people were spending the night at a local multiplex to get tickets for Lord of the Rings, I'm assuming 1.
Okay.
And I'm with my buddy. We're probably driving home from work, I guess. And he, at that time, had a early 70s pickup, kind of fixed up with loud exhaust. Total hick 80s bully pickup, you know? So we see it. My buddy's a guy that likes confrontation. He sees all the nerds lined up in their goddamn Gandalf costumes, and he pulls in there and does idles with the loud exhaust, just looking them up and down with just a look of disdain. And he just stops, pick up, just looking at him, and they're looking at him. They're like, "You're the 75th man that's done this today."
Yeah.
And one guy finally goes, "What do you want?" He just looks at him. He just steps on the thing. Rum, rum. And they're like, "You guys like that?" When they clearly are not the kind of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's no. They're like, and then he just keeps looking. Rum, rum. Well, catch you later. And just fucking steps on it and peels on. They were so perplexed by it. Like, so is he just checking up on us?
And just making sure we're okay? I don't understand.
You guys like that? Like he's trying to win their approval? That was a master stroke. Shout out to my buddy Joey. Good God.
That is fucking funny.
I was dying laughing.
When we went to either of the movies I've stood in line for, it's not like I didn't go to episode 1 in a fucking costume or anything. I was just like, I really want to see this today, and went, you know. Same with The Matrix. I wasn't rocking some sweet Neo shades or anything like that.
Yeah, you didn't have your leather trenchy on.
I 100% did own those Neo shades at some point, though. Those bug-eyed sunglasses.
Yeah, there was a minute when those things were, you could find them around.
That trailer for the new movie looks dope.
I haven't seen it yet. I've heard about it. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my God, it looks great.
You know, I didn't dislike the Matrix sequels like some people did, but again, I'm not like emotionally invested. So I think, it wasn't as good as the first one, but I watched it.
I think the first Matrix movie is like an unassailable classic. I think the first Matrix is fucking outstanding.
It's very good.
And 2, I think, is fine. I think 2 is better than people remember it, and 3 is garbage.
Is it really?
Yeah, but...
Okay, yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. I just, none of those things really... none of them stuck to my heart enough to have me like, I'm the perfect, okay, I'll give you $10 to watch this movie. I won't, if it sucks or if it's not awesome, I won't care. Well, it was, popcorn was good. It's air conditioned.
Empty calories.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. I did like when they're waiting in line. And what is comic book guy has like a vintage outfit that was owned by George Lucas?
Yeah, the plaid shirt.
He turns around. He had to sew in something called pregnancy panels.
Yeah.
Which is a great term.
Like maternity clothes. Yeah.
So apparently maybe that's a thing that like if you wanted to, you could alter your regular clothes for when you got pregnant so you could widen it.
So you can get it bigger around the middle. Yeah.
That is astounding to me. I never thought when you get pregnant, you have to buy a new wardrobe or just, enter that sloppy sweatpants stage and which is what I would do.
Just a fucking moo-moo.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit.
You're wearing sweatpants right now, aren't you?
Oh, no, these are dress slacks.
Oh, are they?
They're like George Foreman fat guy ones. So they probably there's some elastic in them
There's some
somewhere.
panels in there. Some accordion panels for expansion. Yeah.
But you can tell a pair of dress pants are old when someone could ask their sweatpants. They're like, they are dress pants. Yeah. They're the comfiest dress pants I've ever owned. So George Foreman knows the curves of a fat man.
He knows my body.
I hope he lovingly made them. Like he was making these pants like Leonardo DiCaprio was painting What's Her Name in Titanic. Just lovingly drinking in the shape of a 50-year-old fat guy. This tailoring equipment.
Tailor me like one of your French girls.
Tailor me like Riddick Bowe. I'm trying to think of a fat boxer. I don't think Riddick Bowe's that fat.
Wonder if that movie's still good.
Who beat Tyson? Buster Douglas. Buster Douglas.
Buster Douglas. Buster Keaton. I said. Oh.
Tailor me like Buster Douglas.
Buster Douglas.
He is a rotund man.
Holy shit! Show me Mike Tyson versus Buster Keaton.
Yeah. Just keeps punching him. He falls like a rake and comes right back up.
Bloodbath.
This guy's so good at pratfalls. It's always a standing 8 count. We got a TKO. I'm gonna kill him.
It's like Homer's strategy when he fought Dedrick Tatum. Just stand there and get hit.
Just take an ass kicking.
Oh, God.
So they are in line to go see the movie. The kids are super jazzed. Let's see here.
I love that the whole movie is just boring parliamentary procedure.
Yeah.
Like it's
And I remember a scene kind of like that. Yeah.
And it starts like from the beginning with the crawl, like the plot crawl up the screen where it's just like, I think Bart even mentions trade embargoes and treaties. What? But that's
good.
Episode 1 absolutely starts that way. It was just like trade dispute. What? And then they lean into it, and the whole movie is about that.
See, I didn't get a whole lot of laughs out of this part of the episode, but I did enjoy the fact that Otto was standing in line for the wrong movie.
Yeah.
It's like some small British drama, and he ends up just loving it. Yeah.
He's sitting alone in the theater.
With his like Jedi robe on.
Yeah, with like tears in his eyes.
Yeah. I don't remember liking this episode much, but there's some good laughs, like because obviously they didn't like it.
Yeah, they're all mad.
Yep. And Bart's back at home and saying, I feel so ripped off by that crappy movie. I'm going to chip a big hole in the floor. And he grabs that fireplace poker, just chipping a hole.
Jamming it into the floor.
Such a great response to not liking a movie.
And he gets like 4 or 5 in before Marge gets it away from him.
Yep.
Just chink, 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 just stabbing the floor.
And Marge's idea is write a letter, which, give me a break,
That's a
Marge-ass
idea.
That's like Marge thinking locally, not globally. Like, if you want to complain about something they're doing at the local park, write a letter.
Yeah.
George Lucas isn't going to change a movie because of your dipshit kids.
I thought it was pretty funny though, because that is exactly how Marge would try to solve that problem.
So they decide, hey, let's go down there and straighten things out, which, far-fetched, but I'm with them.
Which is an even crazier idea. Yeah, go there.
Yeah.
Go to this not Skywalker Ranch.
So they get there, and it's kind of like you have 2 options. You go to Skywalker Ranch, or you go to this winery for the parents. And it's I think it starts with the kids going to Skywalker Ranch. It's basically like a guided tour.
Yeah.
Never taken a guided tour of any kind like this?
No, not like this. Maybe as a real young child I might have, but no, I don't think so.
I did Universal Studios.
Oh,
it was
sure.
fun. Very enjoyable.
I'll bet.
And I remember when we did it, there's like a guide. I think they're up in the front of the trolley thing talking, and there's also like closed circuit camera so you can see him in the back too. And she was super attractive, super quick and witty and funny. I remember thinking she was the most talented person in her high school in Oklahoma. She went to acting at some big state school and was terrific. She moved to LA. Fast forward, she's 37 years old now. This is it.
Yeah.
God, that's heartbreaking.
She's the most talented tour guide at Universal Studios.
What a cruel world. Hollywood's a tough city.
Yeah, probably got one extras role in there that she got her hopes up about.
Was it an episode of Undressed on MTV when she's right out of college?
Shit. Yeah. That is the second time I thought of Undressed earlier this week. Yeah. God, remember that fucking thing? Yeah. Remember this weird, dirty fucking teen drama?
I don't know how I'm wired.
Oh boy.
But things like Undressed and Baywatched, I am the right age. Mm-hmm. I should have been beating my dick like I was mad at it to Baywatch. I'm just slamming it against the side of the fridge. You son of a bitch. But I think I'm watching a fat ass gas station attendant bend over to pick up a pen. That's jerk off material to me. I like a more feasible jerk off scenario. I'm never gonna fuck Pam Anderson, but the fucking the lady that runs the car wash that's ain't taking care of herself, but she's still got banging titties. That's the kind I can fucking blast to that. And that's funny. I was in college. I was the right age for Undressed too. But also by that point, I think my buddy had high speed internet, so I was watching people shove themselves in they're just those nesting Russian doll in each other.
You'd moved on to some higher level shit. Yeah. No, I get that. I just love that you're fucking Baywatch never gonna happen. But maybe that potato lady that runs the daycare in town.
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny to me.
Those moms that still just have that big fat, have had multiple kids' asses, that's just life's tough, honey, but sometimes you get a big fat ass for having a bunch of kids. That's for me. That's for funny.
Me. Just purely realistic jerk off guy.
Squeezing into a pair of capri pants that they're self-conscious about because they don't fit, but meanwhile it's fucking destroying my pants. You can see each ass cheek through denim. How hard that is. How tight a pair of pants has to be.
Nathan at the county fair just admiring long mom butts.
Dude, I would fucking,
look at that horse's ass.
I worked at a grocery store. It was hog heaven. They're fucking reaching over to pick up the heavy bag of flour and just teach you the meaning of the word respect. Pardon me, son?
You're putting everything on the bottom shelf. So oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I forget who it was, but I heard a buddy of mine use the phrase long mom butt once, like 20 years ago, and I'll never let it go.
So I think there's a difference between long mom butt, then just the no butt. We always called that shovel ass growing up. I think that's came up on the podcast before. There's heartbreaking cases of shovel ass out there. Like a lot of men have shovel ass. That's like, hey, kill ass is a shovel ass, you know, like. We should have been now any desire to jerk off has left the room. He kills ass.
Yeah, thanks for bringing he kills ass.
We need to bring the sexuality down a notch.
Looks like chicken cutlets.
Yeah, I love that. I heard Marilyn Manson's butt described as 2 chicken cutlets.
Yeah,
that is a proper definition. So the kids are taking the whatever the Skywalker Ranch is called in this episode.
Or whatever it's called here, because they even puss out on that.
And they show the CGI people hard at work. And when it turns out it's a wrapping piece of garlic bread for an Olive Garden commercial. Yep. That I did get a kick out of. But
kind of made me want Olive Garden, if we're being honest.
No, I don't mind trash Italian.
I ain't above it. It's garbage. I can think of 4 other places to get good Italian food in this town. But sometimes what you want is garbage.
Yeah, boil me some trash and pour it down my fat head.
Yeah, microwave me whatever's in that bag and give it to me. Just give me some breadsticks.
Yeah, let's do it. None of us want to live forever.
Yeah, sometimes you want trash. Yeah. That's why I never judge anybody's dating history. Sometimes what you want is garbage. Yeah.
And you mean sometimes that garbage will key your car, but hey, you know, like you knew it. Get into it.
Or give you diarrhea. You know, depending on, like it's fine.
What kind of trash?
Yeah. I had a Popeye's chicken sandwich today.
Oh, good for you.
So it was a cheat meal. So I was like, it's not good and it's going to give me heartburn. Well, it is good, but it's going to give me heartburn. Yep. I'm going to get a Popeye's.
And I think I've shared this hot take before. I put the Burger King spicy chicken sandwich right there with the Popeyes.
I think you're out of your mind.
Have you tried it?
Yes, I've had the spicy chicken. Like
fair.
It's fine, but I think it's two different leagues that they're playing in.
And I love them both. I just think they're both right there.
Yeah.
So while the kids are doing this, Homer and Marge are doing the winery tour, and they're just having the time of their life because Marge is rarely part of the drunken shenanigans.
Yeah, just getting lit.
And she gets greased.
You ever gotten good and wine drunk?
If I have, I don't remember it, so maybe once or twice, but never been a thing.
Yeah.
I've heard it's a different kind of drunk.
It is. Yeah. It's a different kind of drunk. For me, it's not nearly as much of a fun drunk. But it's fine. Horrible hangover.
Oh, I would believe it.
Yeah, it turns out won't get that much. You can't have that many grapes, Nathan.
Yeah, too many grapes.
Bad for you.
How about fortified wine? You ever tied on a dirty fortified wine?
Oh, yeah, I've had a Thunderbird night. I've had exactly one Thunderbird night.
Yeah, what are some of the Wild Irish Rose? Isn't that one of them?
Yeah, I've never gotten into it. But
Mad Dog?
I've had some Mad Dog, but yeah, I'll have a glass of that and then move on with my day.
You've never bought 4 bottles and
and
went down into
like a backpack for the day.
Crawled down into the city aquifer and just drank in the rainwater.
God, we were never able to do it because we couldn't figure out the logistics of it. But when I was at the strip club, we for years tried to plan an event that we would call the Tour de Francia, where you drink a box of Francia box wine and then participate in a bicycle race.
I enjoy all of this.
We were never able to put together the logistics of do you do a 3-man relay for a 5-liter box or what do you do? Yeah. Also, you can't just be riding through town hammered on a bicycle. Well, they're not going to let us into any of the junior highs to use their track.
Yeah, we needed to plan this out months in advance.
Wait, can you get a DUI on a bicycle? Probably.
We needed to vote for committee positions.
Got to get one of us elected comptroller, so we have some sway on the board.
Get some access to some of these schools. Planning it out 7 years in advance.
Yeah. But a box wine bicycle race sounds like a good time to me.
And yeah, a life-altering hangover, but a lot of the best things in life come with a life-altering hangover. Yep. So they're having the time of their life to the point where not Marge and Homer just keep going out after this.
Yeah, they're wine people now.
Yeah, now they're just getting wasted and having the times of their lives. And but it all kind of comes screeching to a halt when they get in a car wreck, and Homer lets Marge take the fall for the DUI.
Yeah, she gets super tanked at Oktoberfest.
Yep. And Homer rolls his car, and he runs from the vehicle, leaving Marge there to take the fall, even though he could say something at any time.
After putting her in the driver's seat, like slides her over. This is maybe the most dirtbag thing Homer's ever done.
My response is, Jesus Christ, Homer is a sack of butts. And yeah, Marge gets in trouble. A sober still sober at this point, Barney suggests Marge go to rehab. And when Homer finally feels bad and admits it to her when she's at the rehab facility, her response is, I am so cheesed off. Yeah. It's such a Marge thing to say, which
I thought of you, actually. I was like, that sounds like something Nathan would say.
Yeah. So, and she is like in the middle of a group, like some kind of like treatment group while all this happens.
Yeah.
I can't remember what she suggests, like something like that she's going to do. And Otto wants it. He's like, well, what I'm going to do, you can't snort, drink, or inhale. He's like, you better inject it into my toes because my mom checks my arms.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Otto.
I had that holy shit moment, but then also was like, really? Are we saying that Otto's on heroin now?
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying? Come on. The fun stoner character is also a fucking
intravenous drug user.
Horse junkie, apparently? Come on. Come on.
And the B story is kind of pretty quick. It's Bart and Lisa are able to sneak into George Lucas's lair where he's working on shit.
Yeah.
And the gag is he's little, which I didn't even know George Lucas is. I don't think he is little.
I don't know that he's. I don't know that he's so little that the Simpsons would make jokes about it anyway.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
And they just, there's a good scene where the people are playing keep away with George Lucas.
Which is kind of fun,
I think his name is Randall Curtis. That's what I have noted here. That's the name.
Just fucking call it George Lucas. I still don't get why they did that.
I don't get it, yeah.
I did like the moment where he's like, you're right, I'll go back to my roots. And he hops on that fucking tauntaun and goes riding away.
Mm-hmm. There weren't that many laughs. And then we're pretty much at the end. Mm-hmm. This is really it. Like, Homer gets, trying to think what he does at the rehab facility to win Marge back.
He kind of just comes clean, and then she's pissed and goes and gets tanked with the rest of her rehab group.
That's what it is.
Because the fucking sea captain has hooch in his leg, which I thought was fun.
Yeah.
And they all just kind of like vent, and she's like, no, I do love Homer, and just goes back to and like that's it.
Yep. Yeah, just felt lazy. Lazy episode.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I thought a lot of the Star Wars digs were fun, although like that movie came out in like what 99 or 2001.
99. It came out in the summer of 99.
And we're doing
it's 4 years old because there's a Jar Jar Binks character. Yeah.
Jim Jam, which I thought was kind of fun. I like that George Lucas gives the kids boxes of Jim Jam cereal, and then he's like, it's just alphabets with extra J's.
Yeah, that was good.
That was funny.
And they're throwing it away? Are you telling me the Simpsons kids don't like alphabets?
Of course they do.
Alphabet's a tasty treat.
No, it's got marshmallows in it.
No, don't.
I'm not.
No, you're wrong. I didn't mean to say that like real definitively, but
no, you really fucking came at me just now.
I take my alphabet seriously. No,
okay, David, I'm sorry.
Alphabets is just like
you
frosted.
You speak when spoken to. I'm sorry, Nathan.
You run all serial commentary before me before we record.
It won't happen again, Mr. Falsabach.
No, alphabets is just frosted letters.
Huh.
Yep.
Why do I have it in my head that it's just Lucky Charms, but
letters?
But letters.
I can see thinking that because looks-wise, because picture Lucky Charms, no marshmallows if they frosted the wheat chunks.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can see that being all right.
Yep, fine. It's no kid is ever like fist pumping because mom bought alphabets. But like, I think sometimes it can be a cereal that can trick your mom into thinking it's not terrible for you, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So there were some of those Kicks. Well, that's at least to advertise Kicks. It's like, hey,
kid tested, mother approved.
This is not as trash as the basically you're just feeding your kids licorice for breakfast. Yeah.
It's an in-between.
Yeah.
And I used to love Kicks.
I'll eat a bowl of Kicks right now.
Want to me some Kicks? I'm not challenging you. I don't have Kicks here.
You know what else I've always thought was like a good cereal that your mom wasn't ashamed to give you? Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah.
I love a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios.
I ate a lot of Honey Nut Cheerios as a kid. That was always a favorite. Those middle cereals, Frosted Flakes, also kind of a middle cereal.
Here's one for you. You get a choice. You want Frosted Flakes or you want Raisin Bran?
Oh, buddy, that's a tough one.
The Sophie's Choice of middle ground cereals.
Boy, I feel old, but give me Raisin Bran.
With you, brother. With you.
Yep. I like a bowl of Raisin Bran.
Raisin Bran, you look at the Hot 100 list of Nathan's favorite cereals, Raisin Bran's, not top 10. Close, though. It's close to top 10.
Frosted Flakes really fall apart in a hurry.
Get limp dick in a hurry.
I'm going to say the first 4 spoonfuls of Frosted Flakes are top-level shit. And then it falls apart.
And the best is, too, mom's trying to convince you that Corn Flakes or the raisins added are just the same. It ain't. Because those raisins they put in Frosted Flakes are rolled like in honey and dipped in sugar. If you look at them, they're just little.
They're white.
They're sugar balls.
They're chalk. Yeah. And I'm not a raisin person. I don't really care for raisins.
Yeah, I do like raisins.
Prunes, I'll fuck up all day.
Oh man,
I'll pay the price.
I will lose an apartment deposit. How much I like prunes. I do that about once every 5 years. I'm at the grocery store. I somehow end up by the dehydrated fruit section, which is not big, so you don't end up turning a lot. It's like, God, I like prunes. I'm going to buy a bag of prunes.
Yep.
And I'm just housing them. God damn it, these are good. And then I'm like shitting in the bathtub for 18 hours. Like I'm in a weird European veterinarian office. They don't have much room. They got to have it in an apartment.
I have a hard time saying no to dried fruit. It's delicious.
Oh my God.
Other than apples, fucking apples.
I can enjoy an apple. They got to be the mushy or soft ones. That's the difference for me.
I've never had an apple chip I like.
Dried bananas too.
Oh, dried plantains are where it's at, baby.
Yeah, damn right.
My God, they're like chips.
I think I want apple leather, not apple chips. You usually get chips, the crackly, crunchy ones, which I'll fuck them up, but I want the more like jerky.
You want a gnaw it a little, yeah. I love a fucking dried apricot. I don't like apricots, but I love dried apricots.
My digestive system would just like blitzkrieg my lower GI tract with dried apricots.
Just a gastrointestinal Armageddon.
Yep. You get within 45 minutes, my colon is Stalingrad. There are no winners here.
Just a colorectal Waterloo.
Yeah. It's like when you do go hard, he's like, okay, I don't know if I feel fine, and then all of a sudden, it sounds like John Coltrane's playing your colon. It's like, these are not normal 4/4 rhythm patterns. Really going for it here.
Not the most recent one, but the one before that, my trip to Denver, the one that had all the bathroom nightmares on the way down. I definitely bought like a 2-pound bag of dried apricots at a truck stop along the way.
How could that go bad?
And fucking 80 miles down the road sounds like a lighthouse foghorn going on in my guts. Just driving down the road, enjoying my music. Oh no! Oh no!
All of a sudden, it's like one of those ink packs, and a robbery goes off. Drive your car right to a junkyard. We gotta part it out. Give me $75 for it. I don't know.
How many miles it got on it? 4,000. Get it off of my hands.
I'm gonna be paying for this car for 7 years, but I can never see it again.
Gotta love a dried apricot.
Yeah.
Episode 16 of Season 15 is The Wandering Juvie. We're at Costington's, where we're all buying... I like Costington's, the fancy store. Yeah. I like that it's represented.
Yeah, it's an interesting part of like American consumerism is the higher end department store.
Yes.
Don't get a lot of them around here.
No. Yep. Like what is the fanciest department store you could go to right now?
Like Nordstrom's, probably.
Is that considered fancy?
I just think it's a step above JCPenney.
That's my other thing is I don't know where anything is ranked. Yep. Is Macy's fancier than JCPenney? I don't know.
Yeah, I would say so.
Is Nordstrom's fancier than Macy's?
That's where, for me, it would be tough.
Where does Herberger's rank in this?
Herberger, which is now defunct, is, I'd say, at the JCPenney logo level. Yeah, Herberger's, I think, is completely done.
Is Gordman's a department store?
Yeah,
and
that's
where
definitely,
do they rank?
That Gordman's is lower, as is a Kohl's.
I used to go to Gordman's fairly often because they...
Irregular slacks.
They were one of precious few department stores in this town that have a big and tall section.
Oh, really? JCPenney now
That's my joint.
Hooks up the Dakota Thickies.
I'm there for the Dakota Thickies. Yeah, if I go out for clothes, I go to JCPenney.
JCPenney, yeah, man. Which has had to have demolished the business at like the big and tall shop.
Good.
Yeah, who actively dislike big and tall people.
Yeah, not to like ape one of your stand-up bits, but fuck those people.
The worst.
They're awful.
They hate us.
Like I'll go there too, but it's only because they're the only other ones in town.
And sometimes you need a pair of basketball shorts at 9 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. And JCPenney didn't have any.
Yeah, so this has to happen
fine,
tonight.
I guess I'll pay $8,000 for one pair of Reebok
It's insane.
shorts.
Yeah.
So we're at Costington's. Homer taking a shit in the changing room, which is a dumb joke, but I laughed. So that was one of those like, God damn it.
I also liked when he got his shoelaces stuck in the escalator.
Which is an irrational fear I have. You want to see someone be careful exiting and exiting an escalator? I'm your guy.
And when it caused him to faceplant at all those people and then just ripped his pants off. So it's like degrading too. Yeah, I was like 17 or 18 the first time I ever stepped foot on an escalator.
Probably terrified you.
Yep. Oh yeah. I was like, do I have to get a running start? No, man. Like my friends, like, what is wrong with you? Like a good friend of mine, I went with their family to go school clothes shopping in Minneapolis, and it was like a fucking Crocodile Dundee prequel. They tried to feed me Chinese food, and I just like spit it out on the plate. Like no.
I like to think you didn't forcefully spit. You just
fell. It just fell. It was like
just slowly
like hit my tummy and then bounced onto the plate. No. Yeah.
I didn't get on a moving sidewalk in an airport till I was probably close to 30.
Oh, God, yeah.
It was everything not to just like throw my fist in the air like, yeah.
Look at this. Like the Jetsons.
Look at me go as people are walking past because I'm standing still and they hate that.
Yep. Another thing, I'm just getting at an age where I don't get a little feeling of glee whenever I get on an elevator.
Oh, really?
When I was a kid, there was one elevator in Botno. It was in the courthouse. I never went on it. So, like, getting on an elevator was always something. We're in a big city now, boys. You know, like, look at this.
I had that feeling up until less than 2 years ago because my building has an elevator, and I moved in here 2 years ago. And for the first month or so, it was like I get to take an elevator every day with my propeller hat and my giant lollipop. But the bloom has come off the apple at this point. That's not how that phrase goes.
Well, I was wrong with it. I was being supportive.
Apple trees bloom, whatever. Homer taking a shit in the changing room, which is a dumb joke. And then Bart comes across some like fancy dinnerware and stuff and figures out how registering for a wedding works with the little scanner gun. Yeah. And so he sets up a fake wedding in their registry and then takes the scanner gun and starts scanning shit because he's going to be scamming everybody for presents to this fake wedding.
A fake wedding. One thing I want to mention too, talk about these department stores, it's alarming. Like, this used to be a part of the shopping experience when you were a kid. You went with your mom, you went to a store.
Absolutely.
I have been in a store like this 10 times or fewer. Oh, fuck. 5 times or fewer in the last 15 years.
Really?
Yep. Because I actually went during the height of COVID. I think it was Kohl's that you could bring things there to get Amazon refunds.
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
still
okay,
do that.
It's 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. I bet it'll be dead. And it was literally me and the employees. And you had to go all the way to the back. So I just did a lap. I'm like, I haven't looked in a store like this, and so because none of the clothes fit usually, and it's like this, like the houseware shit. I don't think I come in here to buy it, like. But it was just fun, like a nostalgia. Like, look at this. People just used to push carts around stores like this and buy shit. What a time,
See,
like,
I end up at JCPenney at least twice a year because
really?
I'll go buy clothes. Either I or my body will let me know that I need new clothes about twice a year.
I usually load up on Black Friday online.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I never think to shop online. Usually if I go clothes shopping, it's kind of an impulse. Like, I went to Arby's and it's right across the street, so I guess here we go. Plus, JCPenney carries the cologne I wear, so occasionally I'll have to be like, yes, I'm a very fancy boy.
It's A1. A dab of A1 behind each ear.
I was watching you build that joke in your head, just like, okay,
I couldn't think if I wanted to go with A1 or 57. That's where my life is.
I couldn't figure out what steak sauce I wanted to use to insult my friend.
I gave more thought to that than anything I have for my own self-help.
I do not like A1 at all.
Honestly, if I have to eat an overcooked steak, I will eat it with ketchup before either of those other two options.
Oh, really?
Yep.
See, I like 57.
Hot take podcast
hot take
here.
Nathan.
If someone cooks me a medium well steak and you give me a thing of Heinz ketchup, I won't dislike that meal.
Yeah. Yep. At some point, a steak is a steak. Even a steak that's too done is still a fucking steak.
Like people are like, well, that's just ruined. Just throw it out. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Eat
Get
the
off
steak
your fucking
your mom
high horse.
made you sack of shit.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's like, your fucking mom is not a fucking chef. She grew up in a household with a woman that lost siblings to food poisoning.
Right.
So a lot of misinformation.
If she didn't have to fucking have your dumpy ass, maybe she would be a chef.
Yeah, my grandmother would say silent prayers as she watched me eat a steak the way I want to eat a steak. That would literally, the anxiety, she would have to leave the room, I bet. I'm not even joking.
Really?
If she saw me eat a steak that had like fluids coming out of it.
Oh, man.
And I don't even eat like rare. I get I like a pretty rare, medium rare. I'm not quite to your level.
Are you ordering medium rare?
I'm ordering medium rare,
okay.
and I'm silently disappointed if they too medium it up. Like,
oh, really? See, I order rare, and 80% of the time I'm like, this could be rarer.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm not quite to that level. Like, but if my grandma,
I don't order blue like a psycho.
Yeah,
I don't want it cold in the middle.
Yeah, oh my God.
I'm not out of my mind that far.
But for my grandma to witness that, she would like, I can cook that more for you. And it's like, no, we're at a restaurant. First off, you can't cook anything. I know you think you could, but no, this is how I wanted it. They cooked it just perfect. She would be very worried. She would definitely reach out to me later, like that night.
To make sure you were okay.
Are you feeling okay?
Oh my God, Grandma. That's a very grandmotherly thing.
But my mom even would have been like, or my dad even too, to think like, oh, you can't be eating food like that.
Fucking seriously?
Yep. That's how you get sick.
Man, I can't imagine. Because of where I come from, the fucking cowboy country that I come from, I can't imagine a dad being worried about a rare steak.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
But it's so foreign out there that it's like, that's like eating raw meat.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Which we do where I come from. Everybody eats tiger meat during deer season, which is just raw hamburger.
Yeah. We're simpler people.
Yeah, it would not be a shock where I come from to come up on somebody biting a cow.
Yeah, just latched on.
I'm just testing.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good boots someday. So Bart is registering for this fake wedding so he can scam people of presents. He covers the sign of bat mitzvah or quinceañera, some other celebration in the park happening. He covers the sign with a wedding sign, and everybody goes into this tent, and he zips the tent closed, and the guests panic in the locked tent and all pass out from asphyxiation.
Yeah.
Tents aren't airproof.
Yeah.
I don't claim to know a lot about tents.
And Bart just seemed cool with perhaps killing.
The fact that all these people collapsed.
Yeah, he thinks that's great.
Dr. Hibbert, Sideshow Mel, all of them.
Yeah. Mo, I believe Mo was in there.
Yeah, but he rolls away with all his presents, immediately arrested. And sent to juvenile hall.
Where he should be.
Yes, by our fun judge from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
I like her. Marge, of course, a wreck about all this, about what a terrible mother she is. Marge having a fucking meltdown. We see Bart living life in juvie. He goes to a job fair that is just for Krusty Burger.
Yeah, that was good.
That was funny. And boy, probably true. It's just Krusty being like, yeah, I love hiring cons. If you ask for a raise, I call your parole officer and get you sent back to the big house.
And they wheel him off. He's like in a glass box.
Yeah, because people are throwing shit at him. Yeah.
When I worked overnights or middle of the nights, I'd have to eat at like 3 a.m. sometimes. And drive through, you got that Hardee's in Fargo. That's about your only 24-hour option.
Up on Main and I-29. Yep. Not that we're doing an ad for Hardee's.
And there was a time, for a good solid year or two, the service there was always far better than it needed to be.
Yeah.
But then I would sometimes look at the people, and like they'd be looking at you, but more like through you. And there was a couple times, literally, the person handing me my food was like chillingly vacant, like
just a little dead-eyed.
Yeah, it's like they're medicated now, so they don't just want to rip your arm out of your socket. Eating for like, you could just tell that guy knows what human meat tastes like. He shouldn't be working at the Hardee's.
Well, as long as he didn't put any of it in this hot ham and cheese, I'm good.
Oh yeah, it was always Guess I'd rather roll the dice on that than getting shitty, lackluster service, I guess. Yep.
As somebody who worked in a bar for a lot of years, I've been to that Hardee's a whole bunch of times.
Yep.
Yeah. That Hardee's, by the way, not 24 hours at the moment. So next time you got the late night hot ham and cheese munchies. Midnight. Yeah.
There used to be a couple 24-hour McDonald's too, but those are long done being 24 hours.
I think Hardee's is having staffing problems like so many places.
Shocking that someone doesn't want to work the overnight at a Hardee's.
Yeah, for $7. Pay people, they'll work.
Who would have thought?
As long as I can keep the fucking hot ham and cheeses coming, baby. That's all I ever order.
That's good. That's one of the better unorthodox menu items there.
Yeah.
Got a friend that loves the roast beef and the big chicken at Hardee's.
I like their chicken. I've never cared for the roast beef. Like if I'm gonna have drive-through roast beef,
Arby's.
I'm gonna go to Arby's.
Yep.
Yeah. Unless it's late at night and it's closed.
I think we've discussed this in the podcast. I don't get why Arby's is often the punching bag of fast food.
I think it just makes for an easy punching bag.
Arby's sounds a funny word.
Yeah.
Yep. But like Arby's is far better than a lot of the horse shit you're gonna get.
Yeah,
like
I'll eat it at an Arby's. I ain't above it.
Absolutely.
I ate it at Arby's not 3 weeks ago.
And this is an Arby's ad.
Yes.
Yeah, so try the new smokehouse brisket sandwich. Limited time only.
Classic roast beef, the number 3, the big bastard.
Beef and cheddar medium is my
I'm
go-to.
not a fan of that cheese sauce.
Yeah.
I just want roast beef, and then I do the horsey sauce off the back of my hand like a cocaine bump.
Yeah.
Just really, really gets you going. Yeah, really put some lead in your pencil. They have the meats.
They
Nathan.
do. Swinging beef. Slapping the employees in the face.
That's Nathan's Thunder Down Under male stripper name. Swinging beef.
Arby's boy. Welcome to the stage, Arby's boy.
Oh, God.
Giant oversized cowboy hat.
Sweaty loaf.
Just a big cowboy hat and an apron covered in horsey sauce.
Carrying a gimmick meat cleaver.
Like they cut any of that meat.
It comes that way for sure. They unwrap it like Kraft Singles cheese.
Gross.
Whatever, it's good.
That's true.
So Bart's living on the inside. They watch an edited cartoon of Itchy and Scratchy that cuts all the violence out. Times in the yard are tough. I feel like that's where I would struggle most in prison is in the yard. Like, I know it's like psychologically damaging and all, but I think in prison I would prefer the solitary.
Yeah. God, yeah.
I know
that's
that
tough.
it's so fucking bad for you and is like outlawed and considered torture in every other country but ours. But I feel like I would be most in trouble around other people. We briefly catch a glimpse of Gina, who's the girl in the girls' juvie on the other side of the fence who like punches Bart through the fence.
Oh, yeah.
Get a quick glimpse of her. She comes back in later. Homer decides in order to watch over Bart, he's going to get a job as a guard, which he immediately does. They make a couple jokes about how easy it is to become a prison guard. And then, like, he shows up and saves Bart from some bullies who are beating him up and then gives him a giant lollipop. And Bart is like blowing raspberries at the bullies, like, my dad's a guard. And then the whistle sounds and Homer's like, well, I guess my shift is over. See you Monday. Oh, wait, it's Martin Luther King Day. I'll see you when I see you. And leaves. And Bart is trounced by the...
This lollies for all of us.
That's a great line. This lollies for all of us.
Never as a kid did I get into lollipops. Like, they're just...
Really?
Yep. They're silly. I felt silly.
I would eat a sucker today.
Oh, a sucker. I still want to be my choice. I'd take a sucker, but like the big ones, if I can't fit it all in my mouth at once, like this is a mess.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I don't know that my brain makes a distinction. Like, so to you, a lollipop is a sucker that is too big to fit in your mouth.
That's what I would probably.
And a sucker
to pop in.
Okay.
A sucker's what you get when you go to the bank with your mom at the drive-thru and they throw something.
Like a dum-dum that you get at the doctor for being a brave boy.
Yeah, or usually they give you the safety sucker where it doesn't have the stick, it has the loop. Because they don't want you to stab your throat and sue the...
So fucking... How dumb are kids that they're stabbing themselves with a lollipop stick?
I mean...
See, to me, those are all lollipops.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, no. Never as a kid did I ever hear... Lollipop was something you saw on TV, like a big thing on a stick with a swirl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that explains why I fucking get blank looks when I use the phrase dum-dum lolly. Everyone's like, you mean a sucker?
A dum-dum is the tiny little round ones, because that's the brand name of them.
They're like a ball bearing.
Yep, exactly.
Like they're really tiny
on a stick.
They're cheap as shit.
Often, root beer, I always think of root beer flavored dum-dums.
Yeah, root beer and grape are my MVPs of the dum-dum world. They got a little white wrapper on. They're the cheapest candy you can get.
What are the... Is it a Tootsie Roll? What's the one that has the wrapping that if there's the Native American kid shooting the bow and arrow, it's supposed to be good luck?
Pop.
Tootsie Pop. There we go.
Lollipop with a Tootsie Roll on the inside. Also, I don't think that's real. I think that's a purely urban legend.
What do you mean?
That if you find a Native American shooting a star on the wrapper, you get a free one.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Or whatever that is.
For us, it eventually morphed into just being good luck.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I read an article fairly recently about that.
Oh, really?
Written from whoever owns Tootsie Pop, being like, yeah, we don't know where that came from, but people write us all the time asking for free suckers.
That's awesome. Again, that's also candy. I would eat it if given to me when I was 8 years old. Never was excited for it.
Oh, really? I love that
Really?
shit.
That's fascinating.
A chocolate Tootsie Pop, the brown one. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. No.
I love a lollipop.
Like, let's say if it was Halloween and I had a bunch of those are first on the trading block.
Really?
Oh,
man. What about the Chupa Chups? They're usually ice cream or cream flavored. You might recognize the logo if you saw it, but they were a sucker that it'd be like Neapolitan ice cream flavor or there was the gourmet ones, those big bastards that were clear. Boy, I love lollipops a whole bunch. I'm just realizing.
The only suckers, we used to always call them deer hunting suckers because my dad would always keep a bag of them in the car or the pickup.
To keep the kids quiet?
Caramel apple. They would be like a caramel outside.
They're flat.
Yep, flat. Yep.
Green lollipop with caramel on the outside. Not my favorite. They cut your mouth up too bad.
Yeah, they fuck you up.
Yeah, they're the Captain Crunch of lollipops.
Yep, those I liked. Yeah, but again, would never go to my way for. But I do like. Give me a Jolly Rancher. I will. Crush a bag of Jolly Ranchers. They're infinitely better in my eyes than a sucker.
See, I prefer a lollipop, but like I'll take a Jolly Rancher over a Dum Dum, but not over a Chupa Chup or a Tootsie Pop. Yeah, I just like hard candy.
Yeah,
whether it's on a stick or not.
Send us your hard candy recommendations.
I was on the internet staring at a 30-pound box of Dum Dum lollies not 3 days ago.
Do I pull the trigger?
I almost did. You want to know how many that is? Around 2,300.
Oh, that's a lot.
That'll last me the weekend, baby.
Yeah. Have more than one in your mouth at once.
Just jamming
just
them. Just biting them off the sticks and having a whole mouthful. Things get even worse for Bart after Homer takes off. There's a dance, like a school dance, but with the juvie girls from the
forced.
Yeah, a forced dance.
Do you think they finally make kids stop square dancing? Is that something they finally have gotten rid of?
Christ, I hope so. I hope kids don't have to have that weird week in Phi Ed where they learn how to square dance.
Yeah. What a weird waste of time.
When I was when I was a junior in high school in PE class, you were taught how to jitterbug. Everyone learned how to jitterbug.
What the fuck? We luckily got all that shit out of the way before our nuts dropped, so there was not any weird sexual tension.
Oh, not us. I think they were jamming us together. I think slamming us together like action figures. Make them kiss.
Yeah. This is my first cousin. I'm into it.
All these boys are so weird. We have to force them in there. Yeah. Sure, everybody loved it.
Yeah. Just having the time of their life.
Gina, who is the girl from earlier, who Bart gets paired up with, sees an open window and they make a fucking break for it. Now we got us a jailbreak.
And Bart is not a part of it because she kind of shows him that, hey, all I got to do is crank up the waterworks and you're going to be getting the blame for this.
I like how transparent she is. Yeah. Just like, I'll just cry, and shows him. Yeah. I like that in accordance to, like, oh, brother, where art thou logic, they have to find a blacksmith to get these chains knocked off.
Yep.
And I like that when they get there, there's a whole line of people, including the sea captain who's handcuffed to an octopus.
Yep.
There to get their chains knocked off. And then I like maybe I just like blacksmith jokes, because I like that we show the blacksmith like working the fire,
bellows or whatever it's called.
Working the bellows, and then hammering out some steel and dumping it in the water and all that. And then all he's made is this little handcuff key that he opens them up with. You could just hit the chain and be done. So I liked that joke a lot. So now they're free from each other. They go their separate ways. Bart finds her crying. She had been bragging this whole time about how cool her family is. Yeah. But it turns out she doesn't have a family, and now she's crying and lashes out.
Yep.
Because she's mad at Bart for no reason. And they have a fight, which is when Wiggum shows up. They both get busted, but Gina takes the fall, says it was all her, and Bart had nothing to do with it, comes clean, tells the truth. Gets sent back to juvie, and the Simpsons go have a nice family taco night with her in juvie, which was a nice, sweet ending.
A trademark wholesome Simpsons ending.
Yeah. Decent middle of the road episode.
Yeah, man.
I didn't mind this one.
I just have written down meh. One little gag I liked is when the cops are hunting them down, when they go to Cletus and he has the ability to whittle things from the future. Like he's a shiner, you know.
Yep. I laughed at that. That had a very good.
He whittles Wiggum getting attacked by that bear.
Yep, and then you see it a few minutes later. Yeah. But yeah, as a whole, not my favorite.
So far, these first three were all.
Yeah.
We're now up to episode 17, My Big Fat Geek Wedding. Ever seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding?
Nope, I haven't.
I know it was still ranks pretty high, if not at the top of the list for the highest grossing, technically independent movie of all time.
Yep, I always hear it mentioned in that conversation.
It was one of those movies that was in the theater for like 5 months.
Yeah, and seemingly everyone but me saw.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, yeah,
everyone's mom saw it. That's what it was. Yeah.
That was the non-horror Blair Witch Project.
Yep.
Like, we made this for $40 and everyone loved it.
Yep. We're about due for one of those.
It's been a while.
Paranormal Activity, I'd say.
Yeah, that's probably the last one. I feel like horror is usually the one that does that.
Yep. The first Saw was kind of one of those that was done on no budget. Yeah, but Paranormal...
I've never seen any of the Paranormals.
Oh, really? I'm a sucker
good?
for them.
They're good?
The first one that I saw might have been the most fun experience I've ever had in a movie theater.
Really?
Because it was literally every seat was full. And it's scary, man. It's a good movie.
Horror in a theater is so fucking good.
Yeah, man,
I like seeing horror in a theater.
So fucking right. I'm due for that.
I gotta go see that new Candyman.
Yeah, is it supposed to be good? Critics liking it?
I've heard it's very good.
Okay.
I really like the one actor who's in that, whose name I will never fucking remember.
There's another movie out right now called like The Night House. That's a spooky house movie, which I like those movies. That's getting good reviews.
Everyone on my Twitter feed is talking about, is it Malignant?
Yep, I've seen posters for it. I don't know if it's in town.
I've heard that's very good.
Yeah, it's good to be spooky movie season. It doesn't make sense. It's
Hell
that
yeah,
time already,
it is.
But
Fucking October, 31 movies in 31 days.
I gotta knock out some ooky spooky ones.
I have. I'm not saying anything yet, but within the next couple of weeks, we'll have a manner of announcement about this year's 31 for 31
excitement,
Hell's Wells horror movie festivities.
Must be nice to have a last name that lends itself to rhyming like that.
Yep, Wells, pretty decent one.
Nothing rhymes with Fulsabuck.
That's true.
So episode 17.
Neither does Nathan.
Yeah, that's true.
You're fucked both ways.
Yep. It truly doesn't, yeah.
Nothing rhymes with Nathan. That's your Lifetime movie.
Yeah, just kicking a rock down the road.
Aw.
I'll never have a fun nickname if I'm a stock car racer. No. No Stormin' Norman, no. Screaming Willie Beeman. So the students find out via intercom that Skinner and Krabappel are getting hitched, which I got a kick out of that.
Yep. There's an insane scene before this of the Simpsons in bed when
the batteries. Yeah.
Whittling down a D-cell battery to fit into the remote. That is not how batteries work.
And Marge, like, I'm going to go sleep on the couch at Homer. She sure does like that couch.
She loves that couch, yeah.
Just having
You're
a good
getting
old time.
acid all over the bed. Yeah. First off, those are dry cells. Yeah. But I love that every time he slices a piece off it and it lights up the bedroom. Like, also,
it was good animation too.
Work. Yeah, it was great. I loved that bit.
Yeah,
him just whittling down a D cell.
So in the school, we get they now have announced Skinner and Krabappel getting hitched, and we get a good gag of, I think it's Bart imagining Skinner as a Billy Bass.
Yes.
We're still in prime Billy Bass territory.
2003, absolutely.
Yep, this is still a truck stop birthday
Take Me to
gift.
the River is finally a song that everyone knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noted that too, just like, I wonder, like, does anyone watching that today get that joke?
Yep, good point, yep. And it kind of from there, we know they're getting married, so we get about a 5-minute run of just bachelor and bachelorette party material.
Yeah.
Krabappel's bachelorette party's at the Simpsons house.
Weird.
Yep. Yeah, totally weird.
Like baby shower at someone's house. Mm-hmm. Bachelorette party? Absolutely not.
So they're having fun. They're really, women plan things like this better than men do. Like, a bachelorette party is always going to probably, more often than not, going to be planned out better.
True.
Guys are always fucking just winging shit.
There's going to be more, like, activities.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Fun things.
Yeah.
Fun, cute things. Like,
as comics, you and I, I'm speaking for myself, but I imagine I'm taking you with me on this, hate bachelorette parties.
Oh, yep. I have a reaction that I can't help. My body tenses up.
Yep.
The last comedy show I did before COVID, a bachelorette party showed up.
Awful.
And it was
the worst.
It made a sad show even. The saddest bachelorette party, 6 lonesome women plopped down and looked at their phones and looked at us with confusion. Like,
oh, that's not bad. Every bachelorette party at a comedy show I've
this is
seen
we're
is
loud
going to
and
be
drunk.
part of the thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, why would you take someone whose whole thing is tonight's all about me to a show where the audience is supposed to be quiet and listen?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
makes no sense.
No, absolutely not. And like, also, bachelorette party, not a fun thing when you work at a strip club. I hate bachelorette parties, actually.
The one time I got to see Mitch Hedberg in a club, which is a pretty cool thing to be able to see.
You did?
Yep. 21 years old. He played Courtney's. He headlined Courtney's.
In Moorhead, Minnesota. Holy shit.
And a bachelorette party came in, and, he's a very laid back man, if you know, obviously, and he was like, he's like, hey, so what's going on in that back corner? And they're like, so-and-so's getting married. And he said some very hurtful things that you would not. Mitch Hedberg's pretty laid back, but all the words, the F's, the MFs, the C's. Really leaning to the C's.
The high C's
hard.
Really? Oh.
Yep. So, yeah, he was also not they were out of control.
What? A bachelorette party at a comedy show? Out of
control?
A
bunch of 95-pound women have been drinking since noon. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, send them to an event where they're supposed to be quiet.
I'm sure there'll be a very docile audience.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw Sam Talent really handle a bachelorette party with fucking chef's kiss.
Oh, I envy people that have that ability.
Just like a month ago.
And then we get not a flash forward, but just a cut to Skinner's bachelor party, which is fucking depressing. It's them in modes with people that aren't even his friends.
Right.
Yep.
Like Lenny and Carl are there.
Yep.
And Skinner doesn't know those people.
Barney's drunk again.
Yeah, with no fanfare.
Oh, man. That's so depressing. That's it. Now he's drunk again.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Maybe he's just making a special occasion exception.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's not going full train wreck yet.
Yeah, that could be true. We'll see, I guess, yeah.
I have a cheat meal once a week.
Yeah, he has a cheating bachelor party night. But that is a thing. That's the thing guys will do. If it's a bachelor party, this will be the night you get derailed.
Special occasion shithouse. Yeah, absolutely.
That hangover that reminds you why you don't drink like this anymore.
I get one of those twice a year.
Yep. I used to always be good for, when I was in my real hard drinking days, a once-a-year apology drunk. The one where I have to think back. I'm usually browning out hard, so it's really peace. It's like, who do I have to call?
Oh, I hate
that's
those
a
mornings.
sick feeling.
Oh, my God.
Did I start crying? Did I shit in your car? Did I say a racial slur? Like what? I was briefly possessed by the devil last night.
Oh, shit.
And one of my favorite gags in an episode that I thought was full of good gags was the Duff Man as a stripper.
Hell yeah.
And he's into it, doing his thing. And
I
then,
like that we get to hear Oh Yeah by Yellow, which is a fucking dope song.
And the cops come because Ned is a narc. And the cops get drug in. And Ralph Wiggum just decides to play along, and he's having a good time. And then he's like, "Hey boys, little help!" And one of them, the black cop's kind of into it. The other guy just like grabs a towel and rubs it,
and starts rubbing it on the back of his neck. Yeah.
And what I think is probably one of the more underrated jokes I've seen, Duff Man is watching these cops steal his shine, but he's just like, okay. And he just quietly makes a sandwich with the open food spread.
Yeah, just goes with it. Okay, well.
This is a man that doesn't have much pride left.
I'm on break, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to eat a free sandwich while they're not paying attention.
That something about the animation made me really want a sandwich. That was a good-looking sandwich.
Yeah, that was a very good. Yeah, they had some nice fresh cold
tomatoes
cuts
on it. Yeah. My ass. I'm not a tomatoes person.
Well, that's for another podcast, but I am definitely a tomatoes man.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I can eat tomato like an apple.
Get out of my fucking home.
Oh, man, I will.
That's disgusting.
You bite it, and you got to give it a good suck. So it's not, you get all the juice, and then you just nibble.
This podcast is over. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
We're canceling the internet.
God. Like, I can do a salsa. I can do some chunks in a pasta sauce. But man, there's something about just
really?
Here's a slice of tomato.
Oh, man,
go to hell.
Baby tomatoes? Just I could pop baby tomatoes in them.
Even worse. They're like
yum, 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 yum.
Oh, if you could see the face that he made just now. God, grape tomatoes, cherry tomatoes.
May I? Just a pinch.
You need to stop.
Give me just
right
a pinch.
now.
A little pinch of tomatoes.
I'm done with this podcast.
Cutie pies.
This is over. I'm going to go start a Family Guy podcast.
With a neighbor against their will. Just tell me anything you know. Don't act like you don't know the show.
I don't really like Family Guy. Shut up and tell me what Peter did this week.
They're panicking and making things up.
Oh, you want to ruin a sandwich? Slice a tomato and put it on there.
Incorrect.
And it's not something you could pick off. You have to throw the whole sandwich away because the tomato juice gets all into the bread.
Just like if you make the mistake of trying to keep a sandwich in the fridge and the lettuce just turns... Lettuce has into finite...
brown fucking
poison.
Paste.
Yeah, just black sludge.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeesh.
There was a good gag about Barney's drinking where he imagines that bunny.
Yeah, his sponsor.
That's keeping him drinking.
Yep.
Insane.
If you stop drinking, I'll disappear.
Yeah.
I was like, Nathan likes Cabin Fever. He'll be into this.
Yep. Not Cabin Fever. Donnie Darko. Is that what you're thinking of?
No, Cabin Fever has a fake rabbit in it too, doesn't it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it does. Like
Cabin Fever does?
Yeah, when he's getting fucking wheeled into the hospital and there's a rabbit there for no reason.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep.
Fuck that movie.
Yeah.
That movie sucks.
Our tomato differences, our Cabin Fever differences.
Don't like it. I've never seen Donnie Darko. Is that worth seeing even today?
I remember enjoying it when I saw it, but not like, holy shit. I was too old for it to be a holy shit, this changed my life. But
you know what keeps me from seeing Donnie Darko? The people who really love Donnie Darko are not people I like.
Yeah, I don't need to associate with those people. Yeah.
Like, Donnie Darko is guilty by association of its fan base.
Yeah, that's justifiable.
Mm-hmm. Which, whatever. I like Kiss, and Kiss fans are horrible.
Oh, God, yeah.
I like ICP. Juggalo's not my favorite people. So I shouldn't judge it by its fan base, but I kind of do.
But it's worth seeing. But yeah. I thought it was but again, I literally haven't seen it since it was a new release at the Senex station in my hometown. That's where I rented it at. Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Yeah. So while drunk, Skinner admits that he's having second thoughts to Homer, which is a mistake because Homer cannot keep anything to himself.
Don't tell Homer things.
Yep.
Why would you tell Homer things?
It's a good gag where he's like, Marge, you're not going to believe it. He's still at the bar. He's right
still talking to Skinner.
It's like, okay, I got to go. He just drinks a ton of beer and passes out.
Yeah, that's his I'm leaving. Yeah, just blacks out.
But he does let Marge know. Marge is concerned, as she should be, because apparently she's friends with Edna, I guess.
She is for this episode anyway.
So the wedding is... There's a good gig. I think it's Bart and Lisa at the wedding. And Lisa notices that Skinner is stretching his hamstrings when he's up there. Like
he's going to run. Yeah. He's like stretching his calves.
And they get, the wedding's about to start. And Edna knows it. And Skinner makes some kind of comment that's like, oh, well, you won. You got, we're getting it. You're going to get married because I guess that's what you want. I think it's around this time.
Overhears Homer talking to Skinner, and Skinner says I told you last night that I had cold feet and here I am, still got them. While Edna is right behind him. Yep. Yeah.
It's a good, and her imagining them being elderly and and he's still not truly into her, and then the fucking mom, who's now a animatronic spider, comes out my larval sack fell in the toilet. Get it, Skinner. And he's like, can I use your purse?
I like that at the beginning of that interaction in the future, she's like, happy 50th anniversary. Do you want a mixed CD collection?
And he's not ready.
That's the thing he's not ready to commit to, is mixing CD collections. Yeah,
I would have been in a serious relationship in the late 90s, early 2000s, I would have had to given some thought
to mixing CD collections.
That really would have been a thing for me.
You strike me as a separate bank accounts guy.
I don't know, though. If I was married, because my folks never did. That idea seemed when I first saw that in TV shows, I thought that was illegal.
Never had separates or never put them together?
Never had separates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's wild to me to think that there's couples that do that, like.
I think I would probably be a separate bank account person.
Like, I am just so adverse to the idea of marriage that if I was at that point, I'd be so, fuck it, we're in this to the end.
Fucking mix those CDs,
Call it a
baby.
marriage certificate, call it a death cult. That's what I'm seeing this as. Put it all together, because if this ship goes down, we're both dying.
You're just sitting in an empty room with one lit candle, just like, till death do us part, right?
Treating it like it's Jonestown. Neither of us are getting out alive. Let's just liquidate all our assets.
Oh, my God.
So because of this...
Careful, you'll wake the baby because you stole someone's baby. Yeah.
It's just a sleeping little man.
It's just a piece of firewood in a baby blanket that you've taken.
Hush, little thing. So instead of Skinner running, Edna runs, because Skinner fucked up.
Yeah.
Edna, my thoughts.
Fucking prime.
Yeah,
prime dime
hot
piece.
little stick of dynamite there.
Yeah.
That Edna Krabappel.
Independent. Don't tie her down. Don't mistreat that woman.
Yeah. And in what is a treat that I don't know if we deserve. What do we do? We do. Maybe at that time they did, but we've been plowing through this shit pretty hard. Mm-hmm. We get the Larry Davis.
Fuck yeah, we do.
It's called the Larry Davis Wedding
Experience. Like they change their band name when they have a wedding reception.
We are literally 2 presidential administrations away from the last scene of this. It would have been George Bush Sr. His son is now president.
Yeah, we've not seen the Larry Davis Experience in a long time. And much less like I feel like we don't see the Larry Davis Experience very often. We often hear that name. Yeah. I bet the last time that they had an appearance, it was just spoken.
Yeah.
Or
or on a sign,
or on like a gold record in that AM radio station. Like, I bet it's been fucking...
Season 2? Season 3?
Oh, I don't know that it's been that long.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm guessing 6 to 10 in that window.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
But it's been a long fucking time.
Since we've actually seen them, too.
Yeah. Larry Davis, baby. Out here making them donuts.
Yeah. Hey, everyone's got a mortgage to pay.
Yeah.
And they're now broken up, and Edna's back. She's in her apartment. She's, nope, not going to happen. Marge tries to kind of talk some sense. Well, I don't want to be in a marriage because someone just feels obligated because they're getting old.
Good for her.
Like, I want someone with some excitement, some passion. And Marge has the line, "Oh, passion is just for teens and immigrants."
Yeah.
Such a good line.
That's a great line. That's a good joke.
And
good for Edna. Good for,
Don't settle, Edna.
You're not sure you want to be with me? Eat my ass. I'm leaving.
Oh, my God.
Good for her.
Yep. And they're still done. And Edna goes to return a gift, which was from the comic book guy. Isn't it who's it a bust of? Oh, no. It's Incredible Hulk melon baller.
Which, you think in your head when you hear those words that you know how it functions.
Yeah.
You
do not know.
You cram cantaloupe into the Hulk's mouth and it falls out
melon balls out of its ass
while making Hulk noises, like grunts.
So, which was a great gift. And they kind of just start chit-chatting it up, and she is smitten by the comic book guy. She asks him out.
Yeah,
which is great.
Good for her.
Would you like to get some coffee? And a family bucket of chicken. Fuck, I died laughing at that. Just how casually he throws that in there too. Comic book guy is such a dud. I love it.
I like that he gets behind the wheel of his car and then asks her to give him a pushing start.
Ooh, I like the tinted windows. They're garbage bags.
God, it's not
so good.
Like that character, it's not just that he's like a loser because he's into comics.
Just every aspect of it.
His life is in shambles.
It's so good.
Oh, God, it's great.
Yeah.
We also get here a weird version of like Homer trying to feed lines to Skinner to haul her up at, because this is kind of where it starts of Homer is feeding lines to Skinner, who parrots them up to the balcony where Edna is, who in turn, Marge is feeding lines to. So it's like Marge and Homer are having the fight.
And that's
really
eventually where it happens. Is like Homer stands up and Marge comes out, and now he realizes, they got beef too. Because Marge is realizing, I have a shitty marriage.
Right. It's Marge realizing that Homer isn't great, and Homer not realizing that until the end. But they're using Edna and Skinner as puppets.
And I think though that actually happens before.
That happens before the comic book.
Yep, you're right.
That's why I brought it up.
Because there's a round 2, which write this down.
Is happening just now.
Is one of the few times I've heard a musical number that I liked.
I enjoyed it. Hell yeah.
It was supposed to be In the Jungle.
Yeah, it's The Lion Sleeps Tonight.
Yep. And it's written to try to woo Edna back.
Yep.
The castrata when Bart holy shit, the lyrics of that are so even the lyrics are still kind of like half-assed. He still doesn't seem like he really is into it that much.
He didn't put that much work into it. But yeah, it becomes like a song about Skinner getting Edna back.
Yeah. And Homer is the conductor.
That whole scene is great.
Very well done.
Also, I really like that song. I think it's not something I'm ever gonna throw on Spotify and listen to in the car. But when that song appears, I do enjoy that song.
That whole when comic book guy comes out, they're just aghast. Where's Edna? Edna is sleeping in the many folds of my Spider-Man t-shirt. It looks like a quilt on her.
She's laying in bed with that t-shirt on her.
Like, and as for myself, I am popping kettle corn. That fucking pig. Just love it.
I like when he turns around to go back in and he's got no pants on. He's just Donald Ducking it. He's got no pants, no underwear.
Superman logo tattooed on his ass.
He's got like a Superman logo on his ass. Just Donald Ducking it out on the patio.
So good. As for myself, I am popping kettle corn, which is such an awesome thing to do at someone else's house.
Yeah.
You're asleep. I'm gonna
after sex, post-coital kettle corn.
Cook some kettle corn. So
I don't know if you've ever made kettle corn. Kettle corn's a fucking mess.
I just assume it would be, but yeah, I never. Just let someone. What a thing to wake up to. Like it's like, what do I hear? Like, just pop some kettle corn.
What does that smell? Did you make pop?
Smells good, I'm sure. Yeah.
I made kettle corn and then ate it. Like I'm sure comic book guy eats all the kettle corn.
Yeah. So
God, kettle corn's fucking good.
Yeah, I can get behind it. I'm not enthusiastic, but I don't say no to it.
It's not I would rather have regular butter popcorn.
Probably, yep,
but
me too.
I will take a kettle corn before I'll take a caramel corn.
Yeah,
that's
caramel
too
corn.
Far.
Yeah, I will eat it. I'll take a handful. I'll take a butter toffee. I'll take a Crunch and Munch way ahead of caramel corn. I like a Crunch and Munch.
Yes, I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
with some peanuts in there and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yep. Totally.
Man, do you ever get? I'm sure you have. You ever get the tin with the 3
dividers?
Oh my God, the butter, the cheddar, and the caramel.
Yep.
God.
And I can eat a little bit of cheddar popcorn, but a little goes a long way.
Oh man, cheddar popcorn is the first one to go. Like I'm diving in.
Yep.
To the cheddar popcorn in that specific tin that we're talking
weird
about.
Holiday thing.
Yeah. Oh, here's a tin 5-gallon pail of popcorn with fucking elk painted on the side.
If you go to Target and buy one of those in April, you should go on a government watch list. That's something you eat during the holidays. You eat too much of it, and you're like, we shouldn't do this ever again. And then you get one for Christmas and repeat the cycle.
How much money do you think it would cost to have one of those companies put the America's Barley Basket logo on the outside of that tin, and we can sell them for the holidays?
So good.
That's our merch idea, baby.
Holy shit. Yeah. Who do we talk to? Who gonna get someone an A&R at the Popco company?
I'm gonna make some calls on Monday.
So, comic book guy just casually mentions that they're going to go to some convention.
Comic-Con, yeah.
And Skinner's, what happened there? And Bart's like, it's so boring. Sometimes women have sex with guys just to get to go home.
Just to get to leave, yeah. Which is such a horrible idea. Yeah. Like, that's a horrible thought.
So they get there, and this part didn't do a whole lot. They were going to do kind of like a Klingon type wedding. Not Klingon. Is it Klingon?
Yeah, Klingon with
type.
The forehead ridges.
Yep. Yeah. I'm thinking Spock was a Vulcan, right?
Yes.
Yep. But this was a Klingon thing.
There's a fucking good ass joke here though with Matt Groening.
Oh yeah,
they just have him like say all this shit like, yeah, I'll sign anything. Come up, yeah, and definitely if you ever see me in public, come disturb me
or my private property.
Yeah, come to my private property. I'll sign whatever you want.
Take souvenirs.
They just have him say all this shit that is so good.
Yeah, that was good.
Also a Futurama call out right there.
Would
which
you sign my bender?
Yeah, sign my bender. I'm trying to think. How long was
I think we're close to the
original
end.
run?
I think
it's got to be close, right? 2003?
It's either done or close to done at this point.
And then they came back on Comedy Central.
Or reruns for years,
right? Yeah,
and then they had a second season. They did a couple made-for-TV movies, or straight to DVD
Bender's
movies.
Big Score,
or like the Beast with 1,000 Backs.
Yep, which was like a D&D themed one.
Yeah,
and then they came back. Did they ever come back to Fox?
I don't think they did. I think that was strictly a Comedy Central thing.
You like Futurama?
Yep, I don't lose my mind over it, but I'm happy when it's. I put that up at the same level as I put like King of the Hill. Where,
okay.
Oh, it's on. Okay, cool. But if it's not like, hey, I got to be home by midnight to watch this.
Yeah,
like that. Not that
I haven't
level.
seen enough King of the Hill to have an opinion on King of the Hill, but I do like Futurama.
Yeah. So
the fucking dog episode will ruin me every time.
That's
you want to see a grown man cry? Do you?
Yeah.
Because if the dog episode is on, that'll do it.
That'll do it. It's tears. It's a sad dog. It's a sad story. In this episode of Simpsons, who is Skinner cosplaying as? Is he in any kind of costume?
He shows up as Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman.
That's what it is.
Oh my God, it's so good.
I thought it was a cat and man costume or whatever he says.
And then he like slowly walks up to the altar, but he keeps like fumbling in his heels.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So they kind of have like a standoff, him and comic book guy fighting for the affections of Edna.
Because comic book guy kind of springs on Edna, like, would you marry me? We're having this Klingon wedding.
Yep.
And Skinner kicks in the door in his fucking fabulous heels. Man, you want to talk about a young awakening. Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Right? Yeah, you're the right age for that, I bet. Yeah.
I am still dealing with those ramifications.
Why do my pants hurt?
Oh my God, why do I only like women that might kill me?
And then you notice it doesn't go away when the penguin's on camera.
Oh fuck, I wish you were wrong. I wish you were joking. Oh, that movie's fucking good.
Yeah, I probably have not seen it since it was in the theaters.
It's real good.
Yep, but I remember liking it a lot.
And it was so dark and weird that they were like, Joel Schumacher, make us some fun ones. And then he made the goofy ones.
He did make some very goofy movies. So as those two are kind of sparring, Edna's just like, no, I don't want either of you.
Dumps them both.
Yeah, you're both duds.
And walks off arm in arm with two other fucking Klingon nerds. I think she even says, take me to the real men, which I like.
Yeah.
I am excited about the implications of this episode.
Oh, give me single Edna, please.
Are we going to get back to sushi chefs in the car? Like, fucking give us...
Going to swinger parties?
Give us single Edna.
Yes. We've been good boys. We deserve it.
We have been good boys.
Very good boys. So then after that, it kind of shifts more to Homer and Marge's issues. And Marge is very salty. This is, just like early episodes where every episode, they're almost divorced. But then Homer just kind of professes his love and asks her to get married all over again. And we get some fun little gags there.
With the band in the closet.
Yep. Yeah. Nothing special, but I liked this episode. There were so many laughs. This was like a reminiscent of a prime, not quite that, well, maybe. This is a mediocre episode in season 6, but that's how good the show was back then. But I laughed a ton in this one.
I enjoyed this one a lot. We did not need to make this about Homer and Marge. I was bummed about that. Like, all of the Homer and Marge shit felt so crowbarred in, including and especially the ending.
Yep.
Like, we can have an episode about Seymour and Edna. We don't need to make it about the Simpsons.
I think what it could have been is you could have just used the Cyrano de Bergerac thing where he's feeding lines and Marge is feeding lines to Edna, and just had that be a gag that, oh, wait, they're fighting, and then, oh, you're pushing us aside so you two can have a beef.
It didn't need to be some veiled thing about, it's actually about Marge and Homer.
A greater plot point. Yep, could have been a gag, could have been a one-off.
There's nothing wrong with having an episode of The Simpsons that isn't about the Simpsons.
We don't get enough of that anymore.
So I wasn't as high on this as you were, but I did like this one.
Yeah, the laughs were so plentiful for me.
Yeah. Episode 18, maybe my favorite, is Catch 'em If You Can. We're on the school bus. Lisa gets hit by a water balloon from Bart while reading How to Talk to a Drunk Father.
That was good.
The most amazing book that I have ever seen. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was good.
So, of course, Bart and Lisa start fighting. They're rolling around on the bus. I like Otto's ingenuity here that he just like swerves and opens the door.
With gravity, take our inertia.
Yep. Centrifugal force.
There we go. Yeah.
They go rolling out of the bus and into the Simpson house.
Maggie goes flying into the kitty litter.
Maggie falling into the kitty litter is very funny to me. Like, that was one of those, like, oh, it's adorable and gross as hell.
Yeah. Oh,
ew.
Very gross. I didn't even think about that. That's very gross.
As a cat owner with a litter box, because try as I might, I couldn't train my cat to use the toilet. Like, the litter box is a gross place for a baby.
Indeed.
So Marge gives them the what for, and now Marge planning a trip to Great Uncle Tyrone's birthday in Dayton, Ohio.
Very weird, rare glimpse at an extended family member.
I don't think we've ever seen Uncle Tyrone before, have
I think I remember it. I remember it, yeah.
And we get a glimpse of, like, at last year's birthday, and some joke there that wasn't worth writing down. But, like, Dayton, Ohio. And... you ever been to, how much time have you spent in the great state of OH?
I have driven to Cincinnati for a concert, and I think that's it.
What concert was worth driving to Cincinnati? That's a long drive from North Dakota.
Dwight Yoakam and Jason Isbell. It was more an excuse... Because we're going to go to Nashville just for something to do, kind of. Mm-hmm. So it's like, well, hey, this show would be fun. Let's hit Cincy. Because Cincy, Nashville's a afternoon drive, probably.
Oh, really?
Yep. You don't really
Ohio is further south than I think it is.
And Cincinnati technically spills into Kentucky. That's how far south Cincinnati is. It's on the river that separates them. So you can, we ate at a little downtown dive and drank at a bar called Madonna's. Where when we showed them all our North Dakota and South Dakota IDs, the guy's like, the hell, you here to overthrow the government or something? Which is a great answer. And a bunch of big, weirdo white people from the Midwest show up in your bar.
He thinks you're moving in to sway some voters because Ohio's a weird voting place. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I've heard about Capitol's Pierre, right? My friend's like, actually, it's Pierre. He's like, I don't give a fuck how it's pronounced. I'm just trying to be nice. Which is fair.
We have a mutual friend who lives in Cincinnati. Shout out to Bailey.
Oh, yeah, that's where Bailey lives. Shout out to Bailey.
Yep. Hi, Bailey. Yeah. She doesn't listen for sure. But maybe we should visit Cincinnati.
Yeah, it seemed like one thing I liked about Cincinnati is it's gentrified, but it ain't fully complete yet. Because, like, once bar close hit, downtown felt really unsafe real quick. Like,
really?
Like, I'm glad there's 6 of us. Yep.
Good for Cincinnati.
I like a little bit of danger at night, you know? Like, head on a swivel. Because that's what it was, though. Like, because there'd be people you could tell were kind of giving us the, could we take them?
Oh, look at these motherfuckers
could we overpower them and take their belongings?
Good for you, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
My point of reference for Cincinnati is WKRP.
Yep.
Dr. Johnny Fever. God, I love that show so much. We're going to rent a movie for the night. They go to Lackluster Video, which is very funny.
We're getting very close to the end of that reference showing up in
2003 video stores. I was still renting video games from like a Hollywood Video in Moorhead circa 06.
I was literally one of the last customers at the video stores here, which I think they left Fargo around 2010. Right around there, 11.
Okay.
10, 11, yep.
I vividly remember one of the last PlayStation 2 games I rented from Hollywood Video was Fight Club for the PS2, which is a horrible video game, but does feature Limp Bizkit's Crack Addict, one of the only places that you could find that song.
Really?
That was Fight Club, the video game, and a WWE pay-per-view. Those were the two places for the longest time that you could hear Crack Addict by Limp Bizkit.
Never would have guessed.
It's a decent song. Spoiler alert, sounds like a Limp Bizkit song.
Yeah, if so, that's your thing.
You know what it sounds like just by imagining it. I love the joke here that they have the adult section with the beaded door that Mo goes into.
Yeah.
And Bart's like, oh, saucy, what's this? And he goes in there, and it's all these avant-garde foreign films.
Merchant Ivory.
The idea that that's what they mean by adult is so fucking funny.
And Mo's like, that Bride's Head, I'm sure going to revisit that. That's such a weird, esoteric joke.
And he's got a stack. He's got like 5 movies stacked up. God, that's a good joke.
Yep.
Marge decides that they're renting a chick flick for the night, and the kids are not into it. We get a scene here of like seeing the movie and then seeing the kids be like, this sucks, and then the parents being mad and then going back to the movie. This goes on for a few minutes. The kids end up fighting and spoil the mood. Homer explained to Bart when they rented it that, like, no, you suffer through a chick flick to get laid. He doesn't say that, but that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
The kids spoil the mood by fighting. The Simpsons, kind of realizing that, like, maybe life was better without kids. The Simpsons, they've decided somewhere in here that the kids don't have to go to Dayton, Ohio to the birthday party. They're going to leave you home with Grandpa, and we'll go to Dayton. And as they're standing in the airport in the line for Dayton, Ohio, they see all of the newlywed couples who are heading to Miami. And they're like, we never really had a honeymoon, did we? And that fucking flashback of them just like standing by a fucking muffler shop that has Hawaii on their billboard while Marge pukes because she's pregnant is real good. And they decide, fuck it, we're going to go to Miami. Yeah. Another place that I would love to go because I want to meet Pitbull. And I assume that he greets you when you leave the plane.
There you go. That's a noble.
Dale. So they get on the plane to Miami. They get a first class upgrade. I thought of you right away because I know that you don't roll general admission.
Finer things in life.
Nathan is the
champagne
bourgeoisie
dreams
over
and caviar
here.
Kisses.
Oh my God, fucking coaches for poor people. Meanwhile, so the kids know the hotel that their parents are staying at. And this joke, they're watching TV and they interrupt with like a news break of like, oh my God, a tornado has hit Dayton, Ohio. And it shows the tornado ruined the hotel that the parents are allegedly staying at. And then they're like, oh, maybe they're okay because they're in the basement. And the tornado comes back, burrows into the ground, and fucks it up some more. Yeah. That
Dayton Arms, I think is the name of the
Dayton
hotel.
Arms Hotel.
Yeah.
That bit went on for a long time, but was very funny. And this is just when, of course, happenstance, the phone rings and it's Marge calling home to talk to the kids and say hi. And Lisa's all freaked out. Like,
just watch their hotel disintegrate.
Oh, God, are you okay? They're like, yeah, we're great. We're in Dayton. The weather's fine. And you have like Lisa getting more and more suspicious because she realizes she's being lied to.
It's a great thing. Can I hear a massage in the background? Like she can somehow.
Do I hear a back rub?
Yeah, hear it.
And Marge goes, "No, that's just the noise the phone makes when you're out of time. Yeah. Gotta go by." Such a good bit. Yeah. So now Lisa knows that something's up. The kids drag Grandpa to Miami. Yeah. Make him drive, by the way. Drive to Miami. Which from the Midwest is a hell of a drive.
Yeah.
And Grandpa kind of not fighting it all this hard because he knows
there's a lot of
retired sliz in Miami that he's going to get a piece of. So he's out on the prowl. The Simpsons, we go on a long, weird thing here. The Simpsons' parents, Marge and Homer, bail to Atlantic City, and the kids chase them and follow them. And then we have this
weird
animated. I couldn't find. This has to be something. Right?
Pink Panther,
James Bond.
Yep.
Like, this has to be a direct reference to something.
It's too long.
Yep. And I'll admit that I didn't look that hard, but I did not find what this is. But it's just a long animation sequence of the kids chasing the parents from plane to plane, destination to destination.
And like their bodies are different. The bodies.
It's a different animation style.
Then completely. The head might be the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Like everything's like it's clearly referencing a thing that I did not get. But at the end of the day, it's like when Indiana Jones travels and you get the red dotted line to where he's going. You know what I mean? So we get that whole thing while weird jazz plays. Is a strange sequence. Yeah. Abe, in the meantime, still in Miami, he meets Raul, who is into Abe Simpson. This mustachioed Hispanic older gay man who is into Abe Simpson. Abe has a line here that, like, how do I put this? I don't agree with, but laughed at because it was funny.
It's a safe space.
When Raul is like kind of making it clear that he's hitting on Abe Simpson, Abe says, "Are you gonna go all lavender on me?" That's a very funny way to put that.
Yep.
Like, it was like, we all know what you mean, and that's a very funny way to word it.
I'm trying to think what his response is.
I don't remember.
It's almost kind of up in the air. Like, I'm going to check out the goods.
He was very non-committal in his answer. Just
like, you know if I'm going to make a run at this.
And I love that his method of seduction is like, let Abe Simpson be Abe by telling boring stories and whatnot.
Yeah.
But he, Raul, switches off his hearing aid so he doesn't have to listen to it. And then when Abe like breaks in his story, Raul is just like, "Oh, your neck wrinkles are jiggling." Oh, so good. I would watch 3 seasons of Abe and Raul.
Yep.
I was very into it.
That's a buddy cop show I'd watch.
The Simpsons end up in Niagara Falls. I noted a place that is like famous, tourist place. Lots of people go there. Lots of people want to go there. I've never once thought about wanting to go there. Yeah. Something about the majesty of nature does not tickle my pickle.
Oh, really?
All.
Oh, so I get into it. I'd love to go to the redwood forests.
I've never been.
Yeah, I haven't.
Maybe
either.
if I were to go there, I'd be like, "Fuck, what have I been missing?"
Yeah.
But no. Not when I see footage in Niagara Falls, you know what I think? Oh, I'd be so damp.
Yeah.
Like,
because you're that into it.
That's what.
Wring out these boxer briefs.
Yeah, because I'd be frothed. Yes, absolutely.
I'm sopping up over here.
Not my thing. The kids like, "Hey, we caught you." They finally catch up to the Simpsons. Marge fucking snaps at them.
Yeah.
And the kids, of course, learn nothing. They're just like, "Yeah, we caught it, Mom and Dad. The floor is lava." And Marge is just like, fucking catatonic. She's just like, ugh, like we tried so hard
to get away from these animals,
to have our own thing, but here's these fucking kids. This is a good birth control episode is what it is. Jesus Christ. The kids, though, overnight decide, hey, let's go to the amusement park in the morning.
Leave them
so
alone.
Mom and Dad can have some time to themselves. But in a hilarious mix-up, Marge and Homer have also decided to go to the amusement
to get
park
away from the kids.
To get away from the kids. So they're already there, and it turns out the kids are with them on the Ferris wheel.
Yeah,
they're like in the next car or whatever you call
gondola.
it. Gondola. Oh, look at this.
I know. I want to be
guy.
a gondola's got to be round. I think that's the bigger Ferris wheel. It's like a round circle on a stick.
Yeah,
almost.
I would have trouble calling. I feel like whatever's on a Ferris wheel is not a gondola because it's not covered.
They do make ones that are gondolas.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, the big fancy ones.
I think a gondola has to be covered.
Yep.
Welcome to this episode of
Ferris
Semantic
Talk.
Theater.
Ferris Talk.
Amusement park technicalities theater.
See, when you're rebuilding a scrambler, what you got to worry about is you got to get a PTO. You need a 3-point harness.
Man, what kind of fucking PTO shaft do you think has to turn a fucking scrambler?
It's a popular misconception that you can swap parts from a tilt-a-whirl.
So the parents run off and they hide in a bounce castle, which I've never been in. I noted, like an inflatable bouncy house.
You were cheated by living in a lackluster county.
Hang on, you've been in a bouncy house?
I have been in a bouncy house, Mort. So much that the love of a bouncy house was gone.
Are you kidding me?
Our county fair every year had a couple bouncy, like, you know how you give a ticket to ride the Ferris wheel? You get a ticket.
No, but
10 minutes
I know
in the
what you
bouncy
mean.
house. Yep. So, oh man.
I've also never been on a Ferris wheel. Is that weird?
It's just, you say things that make my head struggle. It's like, this is like...
He legitimately is pressing on his temples, listener.
It's like, I feel like we discovered you in the Appalachians. We have to teach you everything.
Am I Encino Man?
Yeah, exactly. We're slapping your hands. You have to unwrap the Twinkie. Just right down the...
Bounce house seems joyful.
When you're 4, man, 6,
12, 18.
Well, maybe, yeah.
At what point do you lose it?
I mean, depending, if you're a husky boy, you get a little self-conscious around 9, 10. But I would say, once you're nuts, you just want to fucking rub your dick on shit after a certain point. But like before that, you're frolicking.
How does a bounce house? Okay.
Have you ever been on a trampoline?
As I was about to say before so rudely interrupted, if I don't like trampolines, how am I going to feel about a bounce house?
I would say if you were a young Marlin, young, joyful 6-year-old Marlin, you'd get a 15% increase of enjoyment out of a bouncy house than a trampoline. But if you openly dislike a trampoline, bouncy house might not be your thing.
See, I feel like a 6-year-old Marlin would have liked a trampoline. Mm-hmm. When I think of being a kid, I think I'm 14 years old.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You're at that age,
and at that age, didn't care for a trampoline.
You're like, no, you're 5-year-olds. Their time, because you almost have to be a certain size to really get into it. Because if you're too little, you're just gonna get jostled, bounce. You become a volleyball.
But if you're too old, you're too much for a bounce.
Yeah,
castle,
exactly.
Right?
Just sink it in, probably. But yeah. Oh no, fuck yeah. Your boy has spent plenty of time in a bouncy castle, bouncy whatnots. For a while, our county fair got real honky tonk, and they didn't even have real rides. They just had like 8 different bouncy houses.
That's a real ride. How's that not a real ride?
Because it ain't hooked to a tractor, Marlin.
God damn it! Everything's about power takeoffs with you.
But bouncy houses. When you're the right age, it is a world of fun. I mean, it's probably also a world of skin infections. You're just rolling around in other kids' sweat, but fuck. But though, I have a good enough memory. I remember being that age. And I went to the one day I get to go to the fair with my grandma. I get the bracelet so you can just ride your ass off for 8 hours.
You already lost me. I don't know what you're talking about.
You buy the power bracelet. I don't think that's the title, but it had a name. Because if you're gonna go on a bunch of rides, you're a jabroni if you buy individual tickets. You're gonna get priced out. You buy the full ride pass,
okay, yeah.
Then you can just ride for 8 hours if that makes sense. So instead of handing them a ticket, you just and they like, right this way, sir, and you get on, you get to do your thing. But like as a kid, I never got my bracelet at the county fair. And like, oh boy, I'm gonna hit the bouncy houses. No, I would ride the scrambler to the point of brain damage or vertigo. And it's okay, dude. You went for too big of air. Chill out in the bouncy house for a while. Just bounce around with your cousins or whatever. Then you get out, maybe do some other smaller things, and you work your way up to the bigger stuff. So the bouncy houses were open. A frolicking time had by all.
I am befuddled by our differences in childhood.
Yeah. And to the listeners, I grew up on the moon. like, really, for most of you that do not know me and for somehow found this podcast, which thank you for finding it.
Absolutely.
You probably can't comprehend how rural I grew up. And yet somehow Marlon grew up far more rural than I did.
To where I can't fathom the insane life you live.
I lived in a town where we were 200 plus miles away from the nearest interstate.
Likewise.
Almost 100 miles from the nearest stoplight. And yet somehow, I still had much more connection to a reality.
like I'm not an idiot. Like I know how the paper bracelet works. I understand. I'm not it's not beyond
You're not Nell.
Right.
We're not like smack you the fly swatter because you keep trying to eat your gloves or something. No. Up until I was like 10, you could hang me upside down, spin me in at light speed in a circle. But then I had a certain age, I started getting nauseous. I've puked on a tilt-a-whirl. And
as we've documented.
I got derided by a carny and I got spooked. I got fair spooked. It's like a horse. Sometimes a horse sees a snake. It's hard to train it out of it.
That's a reference I understand.
Yeah, snake spooked.
Oh yeah, snake spooked. Yeah. It happens all the time. Like, by the time I was around, by the time I could have feasibly gone on a Ferris wheel, I was 17 years old. Too old for Ferris wheels.
Oh, I think a Ferris wheel is an ageless activity, but I see.
You get what I'm saying.
The childlike wonder's gone.
I showed cattle all my youth. So the county fair was like, I don't want to say work, but was work. Like, you went to the county fair and you had the fucking beef show at 1 and the dairy show at 3:30. So you're washing calves, and then you're getting your clothes on so you can show them around the ring. Like, the county fair was fucking work for me. I didn't look forward to it.
I think for the kids that I knew that showed animals for 4-H or whatever, there was always kind of like a window for them to have their fair fun.
It sounds great.
Yep.
I do. Like, it sounds wonderful.
I can't think of it was Sundays, but the fair kind of wraps up Sunday nights. I don't know if it would have been. What was the big showing day in the fair? Was it
showing cattle?
Yep. Was at the very end? Like, that's when
I want to say Friday and then the sale on Saturday, which is also big.
Yep. I think maybe Saturday evenings was when you'd see all the 4-H kids out. 4-H, sometimes you're a little kid. 4-H is all grades, all ages. Yeah. Like, that's the 4-H kids. That's when you'd see the kids in like Western wear, running around. Like, take those goddamn cowboy boots off. It's 104 degrees.
No, they're so comfortable. They get your heel up off the ground. They're very comfy.
Like, nothing that looks like more fun than riding a tilt-a-whirl in skin-tight pro rodeos. Like,
we should. Oh, we missed it, obviously, but we should go to your county fair.
It's actually getting better again. It was looking pretty grim for a while. For a while there wasn't even rides. We've got just a few bouncy houses.
Can we go in a bouncy house?
No, they would look at us and say no thanks.
Can we ride a Ferris wheel?
I think we wouldn't destroy a Ferris wheel.
I'm terrified of heights. Do you still want to go on a Ferris wheel with me?
If they allow us to, that's the one thing I would happily get on.
You want to watch me have a fucking meltdown?
That would...
Nathan!
Yeah, that'd be good content.
Oh, God!
That could go viral. The best is they think it's one of those things that shoots you into sky at a 200. Just a Ferris wheel. You're just losing your mind. Like, You could survive this fall.
Ferris wheel takes a long time to make a lap. That's a long time to scream.
Yeah,
like, I'm a horse on the other end of that.
At the state fair, you get the big gondola one where you're high up there. I love it. You can look around. You get to see the whole fairgrounds.
Blown away. I don't even understand what you're talking about. I think what we're discovering is that you were a town kid.
Yep. And the fact that there was no midway where you're at. It's just sadness.
Which means there was nothing for the town kids.
Yeah, there was nothing for you besides sadness.
I was
did you enjoy it?
Moderately. Like, I'm going to say a 4 out of 10 looking back.
To describe a fair, a carnival, any fun as moderately exciting, it's so heartbreaking.
Like,
imagine asking a 4-year-old, how was the trip to Disney World? Moderately okay.
Like, at the time, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I was like, I took pride in our animals and enjoyed the showing of such and all the work you put in, all the fucking work that goes into teaching a fucking cow
and
how to like
dance.
Essentially, like
trot around,
is
fancy
crazy.
Dancing, fancy trotting.
Like, that's bonkers. And then there's pride involved with selling them at the end of the fair and some reward for all your work and yada yada yada.
How much more fun would that have been if you got to spend a night? Because that was, I mean, especially you get a generation before us. It was if you lived on the farm, you lived on the farm. There was no trips to town, except for the county fair, and that's when it was like Rumspringa or whatever the hell they call it. You know, you get to see how the English live. You know, like
it's only a bummer. Looking back,
because you didn't know any better.
I didn't know any better. I didn't know that somewhere not 3 hours drive north of me, you were riding a fucking Ferris wheel.
We one time had the bullet. It would spin you upside down.
All right, now you're being an asshole. Now you're just rubbing it in.
They used to have a zipper. All the zipper scared me.
I'm going to unzip a zipper right now. Like, you're just rubbing it in now.
You know, the zipper, I remember being a kid, like, I don't know how, you got to be like my grandpa's age to ride the zipper. You got to be like 55 to handle the terror of the zipper.
Nathan, this is a Simpsons podcast. We've talked about county fairs for an hour.
So the Simpsons.
You think fucking Battle Creek, Michigan has stuck with us?
They are calling to see what they can do to help the kids that live in your hometown now. It's not like your town is shut down. There are still kids trapped there.
No, there's still down there.
They're like the kids in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Like, someone needs to break them out of the mine.
Oh, shit.
There's a GoFundMe getting started right now.
You are not wrong.
Yeah.
Because they closed the high school, but they kept the elementary going. So, yeah, it's just kids there.
Tell us of this Ferris wheel. Where does the wheel roll to? No, it's stationary.
For less than the cost of a cup of coffee, you could help rural North Dakotan children ride a Ferris wheel for the first time. In the arms of the angels.
Like a handler, because some of them are throwing up. Some are trying to fling themselves off because they're so scared.
Yeah. Holy shit. We're all like rescue cats. We're just scared.
Just skittish.
Oh, shit. Whew. So the Simpsons sneak into a bounce castle to avoid their children who followed them onto the Ferris wheel. By some manner of nonsense, the fucking bounce castle falls in the river. And if you'll remember, we are at Niagara Falls, so we know where the river leads.
Yep.
So as they're floating down the river, both the Americans and the Canadians come out to rescue them, and the two of them get in a fight.
Yeah.
The Canadian Border Patrol refers to the American
Mexico
as
touchers.
You Shatner stealing Mexico touchers, which I thought was very funny.
Yeah.
And the Simpsons are like, oh my God, we're going to go over the falls. And they do, and they land safely because they're in a floating bouncy castle. And like, then the rescuers come and are like, are you okay? And they're fucking in the bounce castle.
Yep.
Which, Fucking in a bounce castle, probably not bad.
I need stability. I need to be able to have an area to lean into.
I need a little structure.
Yep.
I need some load bearing, as it were.
I mean, you can make it work, I'm sure, but what I love, and I might be jumping ahead here, it's such a great flashback to Ned opening the mail, because then you realize they have financed this insane This is a felony.
Yes. They have financed this whole thing on Ned's stolen credit cards and Rod's, because Rod has one for
that's
whatever
how Bart
reason.
Lisa got going. Yeah.
And that's it. That's where we wrap it up with the Flanderses opening their credit card bills and being horrified at what the Simpsons have done to their credit. I did like the line out of Ned here, who says, like, he's holding the credit card bill and he's like, feels a little thicker than usual. Trying to figure out what's going on vis-a-vis La Visa.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
That's a very Ned thing to say.
And I don't put this quite at the level of last episode, but this bunch ended well.
Yeah.
These last two.
The first three, kind of half-assed, but 4 and 5, pretty solid.
Half-assed enough, I was like, God damn it. Are we going to are we hitting another fallow point in this show?
You were worried.
Yeah, but there were some good laughs in these last two.
Yeah, solid. Decent in the last couple. And we'll see how next week's goes. Next week, we will do episodes 19 through 22 of season 15 and episode 1 of season 16.
Tip the toes into the
A
water.
sweet crossover, just the tip.
Just the tip, just a little caress.
Just a little, maybe?
What do you think? What do you think? You like this? Season 16? Sweet 16?
I haven't looked ahead, but I'd imagine that's the treehouse. So that'll be fun.
Yep. It's going to catch us off guard when one of these times it doesn't start with the treehouse.
Yeah, because we've been at that for a while now. So.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's your homework for next week, 19 to 22, and then 1 of season 16. And you can find us on the internet, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Barley Basket USA. Email the show, barleybasketUSA@gmail.com. Big heads up to Birmingham, Alabama, who I don't know how you discover the show. I don't know where you're coming from. Tell us on the socials, because I'm always curious to see how you found out the show. Thank you for joining us.
Street art, is there some Banksy type podcast aficionado that's
did someone paint an America's Barley Basket graffiti wall? I can't imagine. Our friends in Michigan still at it. Lansing, Battle Creek, all of y'all in Michigan still coming strong.
Terrific. Keep it up.
So Ohio still coming fucking strong. Columbus, Ohio, baby.
Just keep pushing the word. Go out, tell your neighbors, dress up nice, white dress shirt, black tie, spread the gospel.
Is this Mormonism? Is that what you're...
It's just a mix of some offshoots,
right.
I think.
Just checking.
Spread the good news. Call us the good news.
Yeah.
Good news, America's Barley Basket.
Keep telling your friends. Like, we're at a point now where it's just... Like, I think it's a good product every week, and it's just like, oh, we would like to grow this show. So tell your homies.
Make it uncomfortable for them. Make them say no. Make them say no.
Take their phone from them and download the latest episode.
Yep. You don't have any excuse anymore. It's right here.
You and I will be out telling jokes this weekend.
Yep.
Which we may as well promote, and people in North Dakota listen to this too.
Come check us out if you're in beautiful Lemon, South Dakota.
You and I and
Joe Christensen,
our friend Joe Christensen,
Petrified Wood, capital of the world.
Absolutely, the Petrified Forest Museum is right there in Lemon. The three of us will be at the Wild Oats in Lemon, South Dakota,
where Ira Glass was famously attacked.
His name is Hugh Glass.
Hugh Glass. Ira Glass is an NPR person.
Ira Glass is an NPR.
May have been attacked by a bear. I sure hope not.
We don't know.
Hey, to Ira Glass, I hope you're doing all right.
Yep, the home of Hugh Glass's bear attack, I guess. Lemon, South Dakota, this weekend on the 17th.
Come see us.
Come join us for some ha-has.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be a blast.
We're
I'm
nice
looking
people.
forward to it.
Yep.
I've not been to Lemon, South Dakota since I was probably 6 years old.
Ooh, me too, probably 6 or 7, I bet.
I am pretty stoked. This is the homecoming. Cue up Diddy Dirty Money's I'm Coming Home.
There we go. That was what I was trying to do over here.
19 to 22 of season 15, episode number 1 of season 16 for next week. Everyone enjoy yourselves. We will enjoy ourselves. We will tell jokes. And we will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.